when we were doing the midterm review of the budget going to the adjustment, we have taken some of the recommendations that were made in the prior year's report to improve on the indicators that were giving us some challenges. Indeed, when looking at the authorities, the signing off of responses to AG is the responsibility of the respective HOD. Now, in the main, when you look at performance, the indicators that or the key performance area that is mostly audited is your basic service delivery, and that's where the challenges are. So we acknowledge the challenges, and we are doing something in terms of capacitating, as well as being more descriptive in terms of the indicators and the unit of measurement, which was the problem. And I think I've covered the issue of who signs off. So if the questions are coming or the calls are coming from finance, then I'm the final signatory in that audit finding. If the matter is coming from technical services, the HOD for technical is responsible for review and signing off on that audit finding that has been issued by AG. In as far as the indigent register, in the question raised by Parliament, indeed, you are making reference to about 65,000 indigents. When you're looking at the policy of the municipality, we have two categories of indigents. The first category is those that are registering for indigents based on the level of income they are earning. And those one would require to apply, they must be verified and approved, then listed in the indigent register. But we've got another category which is based on the valuation of the property, where council says if the property value is under 100,000, that household is deemed to be indigent. Those ones don't have to register or apply. They are automatically benefiting from the free basic services policy of the municipality for all services, including the rates that are chargeable on that property. It is fully covered from the indigent, from the subsidy that we are getting. Then we have also a category of areas that had been formalized where water and sanitation has been installed. Those households are qualifying automatically as well. We do have the numbers. When you're looking at the status of the indigent register of the municipality, the income-based indigents and those that are qualifying automatically, we are looking at about 150,000 qualifying indigents. The spending of the city on equitable share, you are correct, we are receiving about R1 billion of equitable share, but 890 million of that is spent in covering the social package that we are extending as a city to those that qualified automatically and those that had to go through the process of application and verification. And I think we indicated in the response that probably we need to get to give more clarity in the policy so that the readers of the financial statements of the city understand the qualification process as well as the qualification criteria. Then on the forensic investigation, I think when you're looking at that FRP again, we are sitting with it. The challenge we are sitting with the matters that must be referred to National Treasury for investigation, they were not properly identified or listed in the report. But when you're looking at evergreen contracts, some of the matters were clearly identified and caused the city to follow up on them. We are engaging with National Treasury. There's no way that we can close the door where investigation has to be conducted. We are open to those, but for now, the FRP report is not specific which matters must be investigated. And we are sitting with them. I think as I was sitting here, we've got a next meeting with National Treasury and Cogta on FRP on the 22nd of August. I think that matter will have to be discussed in detail to understand what was identified that must be investigated through forensic means. But as a city, we don't have the capacity to do forensic investigations. I will end it then. I think the Mayor and CM.
Chairperson, I want to deal with the question that deals with response to the AG, sometimes lack of response or if not, not quality kind of response. And this one came to my attention, Chairperson, and I must report to this meeting that our interaction with AG is as active as addressing issues of a similar nature. So we've already touched base with dealing with issues of quality report, equally so dealing with a prompt response to the issues that are raised with AG. But I need to also raise that the 15 million that was raised with regard to outsourcing consultant, we instructed that it be used to source competent officials that would also comprehend the nature of the report that may be required by, in particular, Auditor General. But may I conclude by saying on this one, improve on working relation and cordializing communication discipline is also what impact on the two structures. Cordializing the relationship as well as making sure that there is a meeting of minds. I think that's what affects some of the limitations that are seen in the report. But that's quite operational. We are at that, and I'm encouraging that the team must make sure that we reach at that point. On the water losses, I think, Chairperson, like the Speaker alluded, we are common with the Councillor, with the Honourable Member on this one because it's historical. Our water losses are not as a result of water losses, leaks and other related matters. We've addressed those issues. Our water losses are more related to informal settlement, where when you deal with Human Rights Commission, you can't debar water from our people accessing it in the 57 informal settlements that are across the metro. So there's water that's going there, and we're fighting very hard to regularize that water in order to not lose water to that extent. It's not water as a result of ailing, old, or leaking pipes and this and that. It is known, and those that were councillors from us would understand that. And I'm sure as you drive around, you can see that we don't have a similar problem like. Where we could use nearby bulk by bringing people closer to cities, there is serious resistance from other formations in society by way of trying to hold on to previous layout plan that was there, when there are places where we could piggyback on existing bulk to avoid a situation where we could lose the amount of water that we are losing. So that's where we are, Chairperson.
No, thanks, Chair. Honorable Busanku would remember that during the years he has mentioned, Mangaung had unqualified audit reports. It means that the overtime that we signed on was justified and there was backup information. There were no findings 21, 22 that we are mentioning in relation to overtime. It means there were systems in place to defend and justify that overtime. So yes, I did sign, but provide sufficient motivation that prevented any findings on Mangaung. The Ombudsman, we are going to make a temporary appointment, and I think we'll do that temporary appointment between, I think by August we'll have that temporary appointment. Then we'll advertise the position for a permanent appointment at that level. The issue of jobs for PALS, I must say that it was subjected even to public protector. There were no findings in that regard that we have appointed friends as alleged. I think it's mostly a social media issue. In terms of teams allocated to trucks, Councillor McKay, or trucks allocated to teams, I still insist that if one could understand the... Oh, I still call you Councillor because you... My apologies, Honourable McKay. In terms of NEMA and the regulations that govern waste management, this is what I was trying to explain, that you need up to 7 people per truck. And why we are... It impacts across the board. Also, it impacts on the issues in relation to overtime. Because when you have limited resources, it means you may not be able to collect sufficiently, because the workers also are very deeply understanding in terms of their rights with regard to the regulations in relation to waste collection. But we are putting, like I've said, we have just finalized full maintenance list. We want the teams to be meshed with the trucks. In that way, we are cutting over time, but also the security aspect, the assurance aspect. With the full maintenance list, unlike the current system where when a truck is broken, it can take a long time. There is the clause included there that says if a truck is broken today, a replacement truck must be available in 48 hours. So whatever they'll be doing, but we have also put in systems as part of full maintenance list, including issues in relation to tampering with trucks. Whatever tampering that will happen, it means that there will be disciplinary processes. We'll charge people. We are doing by all means that, in particularly in relation with this contract, to ensure that there is trackers to keep the kilometers, to deal with tampering, including for fuel issues. So we are taking the risk to the service providers, but we want services to continue as normal. I don't know if we have left any other question there.
No, we are even, Chairperson, just to say to the meeting, jobs for PELs. I can't come before you and talk about lean and mean. And there I go bloat an office of no significance when it comes to services to the people on the ground. I would have said I regard it as an insult, but to be polite is that I honestly invite a visit and see how many people we have in our offices. I can tell the committee, if you get any number more than 8, then that's too much.
Thank you very much. We should bring this discussion to an end. Thank you very much to the mayor, the speaker, the municipal manager. I'm sorry, my dear brother, now. We won't be able to proceed. My dear brother, I'm very sorry. We have to stop.
Okay, Chair,
You are
just
insisting.
want to put it on record.
You are insisting.
The mayor answered something that I've never asked. I've never asked him about the zoo. He brought it up. He answered.
No. Look, let me say, let's leave it, okay? You asked the issue about the zoo. I said the question must stand over for...
I've never asked it to Mangawung Merkro. They have answered the question themselves.
No.
I've talked to Province about it. Never to Mangawung, but it's fine.
Okay,
Thank
you know, I have to now rule you out of order. Okay? I have to rule you out of order. You are raising this issue the third time. Okay? You asked the question. The Premier said she didn't have the answer. You said they must ask the MECs. Those MECs didn't respond to that issue. Then the mayor said you must go to Mangawung. Okay? Then Mangawung has responded. I didn't stop them because you had asked the question, and I did say to you the question needs to stand over for Mangawung. Mangawung is asking the question because I've said they can continue. Because when the question was asked, it's like the question that Honorable Mtolo raised. I said the question stays on the table. All right. Now, we've got as much as what can be raised be responded to. I think that with that you can now pick up the issue with the responses that we've got, and then if there's something that is misleading, incorrect, or that needs further investigation, I think you are welcome to do that now. Okay. So let's close this issue. We have dragged it beyond, but I hope we won't do so on the rest of the other municipalities. We had come to, members, may I really apologize. No, please. No, please. No. We can't. I want to close this. No, that's what I'm busy with. No. Let me finish that to the way forward. If you are not happy, then send me a message. You know, honorable members, I have to now have a meeting of the committee to discuss this issue. No, there's no principle. Let's proceed. No. Look, Honorable Karib, please don't do this. We have raised as many questions as could be raised. We've dragged this thing for 3 hours instead of 45 minutes. Thank you very much. If you're on my side, please. No, if you're on my side, can you imagine I've got problem with this one. What will happen when these others now start having, you are well behaved, you are well behaved. No. Let's close this issue. Yes, that's fine. You send a WhatsApp, that's fine. I want us to close this matter. Honorable members, let's close this matter. Firstly, let me say, we do appreciate that you have come to give us this report. We also appreciate that you come from a very troubled past of instability, and that you are very positive about where we are going with this municipality. The members asked you directly, do you see yourself turning this thing around? The reason for it is because there are still a number of queries that have come from the Auditor General's office and of course from Cogta. We were here before. Now the issue for me is that we have heard all that we have said. There are a number of things that I think we need to deal with so far as your issue is concerned. Firstly, one of the issues we wanted to deal with here is the issues of accountability and consequence management. On this one, we are very unhappy with the extent to which the issue, therefore, that becomes important for us we have the concern about the effectiveness of your MPAC. We have got a concern about the effectiveness of your audit committee and your internal audit unit. Based on what the Auditor General, we think that's what's going to cause a culture of impunity that makes this matter to fester. So we want you to deal with that. And when we say so, we're looking at the MEC because he needs to give us timelines over which all of these issues need to be dealt with and give us a report on a regular basis on in this matter. The second issue relates to the inadequate overtime controls. Now I will give you a whole lot of details of what the AG's concerns are in this. That you have procedure that is in place in relation to this. We'll give you these details. What determines the overtime? We know that it is not determined that the overtime, the need for the overtime is not determined with the consideration of the budget. So the budget runs away and the overtimes are running away. So that's an issue. That's the point that we've been raising about 120 hours. There also is limited progress in changing the working hours of employees to a shift system. The question we asked, have you started, are you going to start, and how is that going to be structured? Those details are actually saying to us, you have still not started working on this matter. So you need to provide all those details, and the MEC will come and give us a report as we look at the progress in this. We'll give you a bit more of those details as we've been discussing with the Auditor General. The next one is around ineffective use of consultants. Again, the balance between consultants and vacancies is a problem for us. We should be saying you should actually employ the people with the right skills instead of actually employing the consultants. And that's the problem that we're sitting with. Now, from the Auditor General, and we haven't heard from you that this might not be the case, that you don't have an approved policy or strategy governing the appointment of the consultants. That's why the members are raising the question of some may have actually been given some employment without a proper contract. Now, terms of reference need to be in place, what kind of skills and the scope of the work that they have to do and all of that. So we'll give you details of that as well, so that when you have to respond, you'll actually, progress for us will be measured in terms of these details that we are actually going to be raising with the Office of the Auditor General. And having said so, we still have a problem that you can have consultants and still don't get, clean audits. We think that this is a big problem in many municipalities, but even here it's an issue. We don't see that it's a shortcut that actually helps you. You still spend money, you still don't get the results that you're supposed to have. And then the issue of grant funding unspent or not spent for intended purpose, again, this is an issue that is based on the various control deficiencies, internal control deficiencies. We'll give that detail to you as well, which you need to address. When you have to address to the detail that's raised by the Auditor General. So we don't come and have a debate about whether you're doing it or not. So we don't want a situation where we say we're already doing it. The way the puts it is like, no, we're doing that, but we want to get the specifics of how that's being done. And a link to that would be issues of completion of the delays in completion of SAM processes and confirming work done by consultants and getting proper contract management, which again is an issue. So that issue for us, if it's not addressed, and we're going to send all of this for the MEC to for the MEC to report on progress on the specifics, not on a general statement that we're doing it. Then the issue around the inadequate budgeting for support of the indigent, there's been a lot of explanation, but this for us, it's an important issue as to the specifics and the details of where the money is going. Because you have, just top of the head, the CFO said, well, 800 million is going to the services. But do you have a proper record of who those people are, with the IDs, with the addresses and all of that, and eligibility criteria and all of those issues? So for us, again, that becomes an issue. That's not a statement, if you said you are doing it, that it satisfies us. It's those details that are going to make us see where things are. Then the next issue is the going concern uncertainty. Now, I did talk about this before, about the question of your financial recovery plan. I heard you now got some what you call surplus and all of that. So we've got specific here that will, for us, show that in fact we're making the progress. Then the other issue relates to poor performance planning and reporting. That will affect your issues of your infrastructure grant spending and how you end up with targets on the one side, and then so much the targets that are met not being in sync with the expenditure pattern. That again is what we need you to clarify. There was an issue that was raised around the information technology contracts, which you will get more details as to what we need cleared on those issues. And then we raised the issue of the audit committee and internal committee. I won't repeat that because we've dealt with that. Then the other issues, we still need to get a bit more information. The question that were raised whilst we were here, illegal dumping, clean mahasi, public spaces for artists and all of that, we're not quite happy with all of the responses, but we need you to clarify those a bit more, because it was not clear on that report. And then unspent conditional grants, again there are specifics on that one. So we would like you to deal with that. And of course the issues around a proper budget is an issue that we run across various municipalities. So we'll have all of these details for the MEC to report. Now it's no longer you reporting about it. It's MEC and the Premier who are reporting. They'll report here to this leadership in the province, and we'll get the same report. And therefore we're no longer at a point of whether you are giving the report. We want to know if you didn't do what needed to be done, what they've done to you, because that's how the whole hierarchy works. And that's really the point of this exercise: accountability and consequence management. When it comes to that, you are going to give us a list of the people. I'm not sure if you've got it at this point, MM. You are going to tell us who are people who are responsible, that you said you have a list somewhere. If you've got that now, you can give us, then we close.
Can we do it in writing, Chair? My humble request.
Do you have it?
I don't have it, Chair, but we'll send it.
When will you have it?
I will have it tomorrow, Chair. I will get information today when I arrive at office, and we'll send it either today or early tomorrow.
All right, honored members, what time do you want to give? How much time? Yes. All right. Okay, let's do this. We'll get those answers tomorrow, and then most of these issues that I'm talking about will give you a period of 6 months within which the MEC will give us a report. All of these issues on the structure. Excuse me? You want a quarter? Okay, I've been overruled. 3 months, that's it. We will not argue. We agree. 3 months, that's it. MEC, 3 months. Okay, we start the count today. Thank you very much. Honourable members, can we close this issue at this point? Karib, we're closing Mangaung. Okay? Thank you very much. Honourable members, we're closing the issue of Mangaung. Thank you very much. You are therefore now excused. Thank you very much. We will now be inviting Karib Yabong. Karib, I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation. Somebody said to me it must be called Karib, and others said it must be called Karib. So the right members, the members will give us the correct pronunciation. You will introduce yourself. Are you alone, madam? Gee, oh, okay. You've got a big team. All right. For a while I felt very intimidated. Gee, that's a strong force. Yo, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. We'll give you. Are you part of the team? All right, let's start the countdown. 10 minutes, you will give us your opening comments. It doesn't have to be 10. And then we come down after that. We'll go to questions. As you have seen the process, it's 1 minute per question. We'll get our timer back. Please start. Introduce yourself. Please switch on thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good afternoon to the Honorable Chair and the Honorable House. Chair, I will borrow the greetings that were done earlier to save time. My name is Councillor Irene Mehlomakulu. I am the Executive Mayor of Karib District Municipality. On my right, Chair, I have the Municipal Manager, Mayor Lebu Muletsane. We're told to wave. Thank you. And then on my left, we have the Speaker of the Municipality, Mayor Agnes Mkhoro Shasha. And then on my far left, we have the Chief Financial Officer, Ndate Mpho Damasane. Chair, as the current council, we have obtained an unqualified audit opinion for the past 3 consecutive years, maintaining a record of over a period of 5 years. We believe that clean audit is achievable, and we're working tirelessly, Chair, to achieve a better audit opinion. Our municipality, Chair, is a grant-dependent municipality. We are dependent on national government in a form of equitable share and the provincial. The provincial assistant grant, Chair, came into effect because of the low allocation to Karib District Municipality, being the least amongst all 4 districts in the province in terms of the equitable share. Chair, I will hand over to Municipal Manager to respond to the questions of the Auditor General without a waste of time. Thank you, Chair.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good greetings to the House. Protocol observed. Chair, I'm going to go straight to the issues that were raised against the municipality by the Auditor General. I think the first one, it was around the municipality receiving unqualified, but the quality of the financial statements were very poor. We agree as an institution because we know most of the time there were material adjustments to that. But what resulted to that, it was we lacked capacity. In the past, we used to develop or to compile them internally as a municipality. But then the 2 officials who were responsible, they had since resigned for greener pastures. So we had to go back to the consultants. So also we had a vacant position of a CFO last year. He was only appointed in April this year, so mostly it was acting positions. So information to get it, yeah, we struggle a bit. That's what, so we are agreeing to that. But we've also proposed or come up with remedial actions to say we've appointed a CFO now, and we also have a mechanism or plans in place to say we are having a service level agreement with the consultants in terms of skill transference, that they should work with the municipality and our officials. And also there's a strategy that we need to move away from utilization of consultants. So we have a strategy that was tabled and approved by council to say 3 years from now we'll be moving away from using consultants. So the audit action plan is also monitored on a weekly basis with the support of Provincial Treasury. We are also reporting on the system in terms of your FM, CMM, and your immune. And then the other issue was the issue of AG saying our expenditure in terms of the key performance indicators is undeterminable. Chair, what I can say is that in terms of the local and the district municipality, when you assess or when you audit basic services, in a local municipality you have a project, and the project will have an amount allocated to it. But in the district it's a bit different because now the same unit is performing different services. So you'd find that the one for water quality, it will also include your awareness programs, your wastewater compliance, your compliance issues like your shops, your funeral parlors, and so on. So the AG, we are talking about it to say they are not sure in terms of what we are saying we've spent, because there's no an allocated amount to water testing. So implement different responsibilities. And then the issue of finance, this lies around that the executive mayor spoke to it to say the increment is very low and it's still decreasing over the years. The issue of unauthorized expenditure, we responded by saying, yes, we agree, but it's because of the little or the small budget that we are having as a municipality. So most of the time we are overspending on the budgets that we are using because we are expected to pass funded budget, and then for you to pass a funded budget, it means that there are some votes the way you have to reduce them so that you find a balance, you get to a balanced budget. So we are having that issue of overspending and its unauthorized expenditure. In terms of irregular expenditure, we agreed as well, but the challenge was that when we were developing specifications for contracts, the municipality was still using the triple BEE, which was outdated, and then the AG said we disadvantaged other service providers because of that. Hence, we had an irregular expenditure. So the other one, it was fruitless and wasteful expenditure. It's basically because, like we said, we've got limited budget, and then when the interest from the AG account is the one that is the main contributor. We had issues from SARS where there were penalties and QUEDA and some were the bank charges. So those are fruitless and wasteful expenditures that we incurred due to financial constraints. And then the last one, it was the issue where it was said that we did not use the money for what it was meant for. It was the RAM project. So in that, we appointed a director, and he was from the private sector. So there's a program known as PINK. It's about infrastructure knowledge management. So we took him to the course with an accountant, but the AG did not agree to say it was wrong. So we have since taken the issue to MPEC, and then we are waiting the outcomes of the MPEC to say what will be the sanction, that the money should be paid back or whatever sanction will be imposed to the municipality. These were the 4 issues that were raised to Karib District Municipality. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Let's hold it at that. Let's ask the members for the questions. All right. Let me start with Mukalipi. We'll move from you to Bega, and then we'll pick other questions. Please proceed.
Okay, thanks very much, Chair. I just have a few questions in regards to Karib District Municipality. If we can be clarified around the issue of senior managers, particularly the MM and CFO, who are no longer there, but are at Mohokare. It is an allegation that needs to be confirmed, Chair, that the director corporates were overpaying these 2 senior managers' salaries beyond the gazetted ones. But now they are found in Mohakare. So is it true? The second one, Karib used MIG money of Copanong to pay salaries of employees. And there's a project that was also was supposed to be the MIG, and is from the department. Just hold on. Is a letter that was written to, is about grant, INEP grant, I believe is something to do with the electricity. And it is also allegation that needs to be proven by the leadership of the municipality that those grants that were supposed to go to different municipalities, they were taken to somewhere. Like, for instance, they were granted that's supposed to build some 300 stands, phase 1 on electrification. But that money was taken to somewhere to build houses, and those houses are incomplete. Those are the things that I need the municipality to clarify, Chair. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and greetings to the team from Karib Municipality. Chair, the municipality is allegedly taking about 666 days to pay its creditors. I would like the team to speak to us about that and tell us, since this again was around 23, 24, what are we looking at now? What is that number looking like currently? Because I don't see how you would run a municipality effectively if you are taking 2 years to almost 2 years to pay your creditors. The number of days to collect debts was 34. That too, it's not too bad, but I believe it could be approved upon. 34, this was 2023, 2024. Where are we now? And then 2023, 2024, again, this is all according to the Auditor General. 53% of municipal debt was unlikely to be recovered. What happened then? Where are we now in terms of the municipal debt that is currently carried by the municipality? Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mweli, then Matiwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. From the report we got from AG, we can see that the municipality did not use the Rural Roads and Access Management Systems grant. I want to double check or check with the municipalities that are the people who live in this municipality sorted now? Because if you guys receive this grant and not use it, then Treasury takes the money back. So are the people who live in this area covered now? You no longer need this grant. Because if it remained unused, to Treasury it appears as allocated but not needed. Number two, AG also reports that MPEC is non-functional in the municipality. You're not investigating UIFWE, so check. Can you confirm that? The unauthorized and irregular expenditure looks like you don't look at it. And also, if you are not, if MPEC is not functional, you might at some point regress from getting unqualified to qualified, of which it's not what I think you are looking, you are aiming for. So get this function correct so that you would stay, or you would move actually from unqualified to a clean audit. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's get the responses. We will come back to the following members. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and let me thank the questions. The questions of the MM and CFO, their contract ended with the municipality. They are no more in the employment of the municipality, so if they are seconded to Muokare, I think there's no conflict there because their contract came to an end. And the issue of overpayment, yes, it's true, it happened. And when it happened in the previous council, they were appointed by the administrator by then. And then when we took the item to council to say there's this issue of overpayment, council requested that we must apply for waivers from both the MEC and national. There were waivers, there were applications that were submitted, but we could not get any response. I think we did it for a period of 3 years. So the matter is still standing as it is, but it was referred to MPEC. So the report will be tabled to council so that council takes a decision around that. But all the processes were followed in terms of the municipality requiring a waiver from both the MEC and the minister by then. But the current administration is paid according to the Gazette, so the matter will not repeat itself. The issue of INEP, it's about from the Minerals and Energy Department. The municipality received an allocation of 23 million. In that, we were told, or we instructed as a municipality, that we must pay 8.5 million to Centlec, because Centlec was the implementer by then before the money was regazetted to the district. So after paying Centlec 8.5 million, what was left was only 15 million. And we expected to implement the projects. So we went on tender and the lowest bidder was 20 million, meaning that there was a shortfall from what we've appointed and what was left in the municipality's bank account. Hence, as we are talking currently, we did get a top-up from the department because they knew it was the instruction to say we must pay the 8.5 to Centlec. I'm not sure about building houses because it's none of our competency, both the district and Mogar. But what I know, what was outstanding, it was the transformer in Smithfield. It had nothing to do with the connections. So maybe we need to submit a comprehensive report to say what was outstanding out of that scope. But it was definitely not the connections. The issue of MIG, we acknowledged that as the district, but there was money that was expected by the municipality, but it only came on, I think, the second week of July. So we apologize for that, and the money was taken from our equitable shares in December. And the same mistake will not repeat itself this year. So we acknowledge the mistake as a district. And the issue of 666 days, I think it's 2 or so creditors that are outstanding, but we are embarking on an exercise. The CFO will assist with the response. Treasury is coming tomorrow to the municipality because we've got creditors whom we've written letters to them to say, are we owing you as a municipality? Because others, they take way back. So we cannot take them to council to say, write them off without us following the correct processes. So what we are doing with Treasury, there will be a workshop tomorrow, but the CFO will talk on that. And there's this prescription, a law that you can apply as a municipality, but it's a process. So maybe some of those that we are owing for 666 days, they come from that we don't know the creditors. And when we say we are owing you, others are not even existing. So we'll have to go back and cleanse that data as a municipality. And the issue of debtors, the CFO will talk to it, but I can say we've got one main debtor as the district, which is the local municipality that is renting. We are sharing the same building, so they are renting with us. So Kibona, our biggest creditor. Currently, there are engagements that are happening with the intervention of both the Premier and the MEC. So maybe we might find a way out in terms of dealing with that debt. The issue of ramps, that we do, Honourable Member, we do need ramps, but what was questioned is that out of the 2.3 million that was allocated to municipality, there was 8,000 rand that was used to take the director for a training. So AG was saying we did not use it for the purpose that it was supposed, whereas we felt that the director is the one who was managing the grant, so he needed to understand how to report and the financials. So the AG said no, it was not supposed to be like that. So it's not like we did not spend the money. The money was spent, but the money that the AG was putting is about 8,000 rand. That's why the issue of us not using the grant for what it was intended for. And then the issue of a non-functional of MPEG, we do have a backlog as a municipality from even the previous council. We are having a functional MPEG this year. However, because the amount that they were writing off, they were insignificant in terms of what is on the books. So as we are seated here, the 2023, 22-23 and 2023-24 registers are now completed. We are sitting next week with the MPEG. So the delay is because they are dealing with issues that come from way back, even before we were part of that council. So maybe that's where the AG is feeling that the MPEG is not functional. If you allow, Chair, I would request the CFO just to talk to the issues of the creditors and debtors. Thank you.
Proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good afternoon. On the issues of creditors and debtors, on my arrival, I found the debtors and the creditors book in a very chaotic state, which we are trying to clean up the data. And especially on accounts payable, you would have, when the municipality was switching from the old financial system that they were using in 2019, some balances erroneously came over to the new financial system. And the other thing that causes the creditors book to be in a mess is that there was no stringent financial management before my arrival, because you will find that there were some court cases that were pertaining to certain creditors that the court had ruled on them to say that the municipality does not owe those people. So there is a court settlement as such, a court ruling as such, but those creditors were not removed from the creditors book of the municipality. The other category of creditors is where there was a council resolution that was taken after a rigorous process was taken to investigate, communicate, email, telephonically call all these people who are listed in our creditors book to come forward and provide the information that will necessitate the municipality to expedite the claims that are made. But because they could not be found, the council had passed a resolution to say that for the interim, they must be removed up until such time there's a need to reinstate them. So those creditors, they are still on the books, and they are dating far back. So hence I'm saying the issue of financial management also was a little bit lax in terms of dealing with that. And our biggest creditor also, it's the reducing bus line. It had to do with the shortfall that we experienced with the INEP project, whereby DMR undertook to the responsibility to make that creditor good. I can confirm now in the DORA for 2025-2026 that allocation has been put in DORA. So we are going to get that 3.7 million from DMR to clear off that debt. So over and above, our creditors book will improve over time because of the reasons that I have already alluded to. On accounts payable, we are a district municipality. We don't have a lot of debtors except the rental income that we are earning. Our building, we have rented it out to other organs of the state. One of our tenants is the Copanong local municipality, and then it's NYDA, National Youth Development Agency, which are paying very well on monthly basis. And also we have rented out to Free State Gambling, Liquor and Tourism Authority. There we can confirm that we are not experiencing any problems. Our biggest headache is Copanong local municipality because their bill have accumulated to 10 million now over the years with interest. We are charging them, currently it's about 40,000 for the space that they are occupying. But however, also, we are owing them for municipal services, water and electricity. So I think we are owing them around 4 million, if I'm not mistaken. So we are looking into mechanisms of coming into the table with the local municipality to see how can we sort out the matter between us and them. But also Treasury is assisting us with that to give an opinion because it's urgent now that we are compiling the financial statements. Hence, indicated that tomorrow we are going to have a meeting with the Provincial Treasury regarding our debtors and creditors book so that we can have it cleaned. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. We'll start with Matiwane, come to Mweli, and then to it's Spice, and then Direko. Mweli, you covered. Oh, it's you. Okay. All right. No, that's fine. We'll take the floor. We'll just come over this way.
Thank you, Chair. Some of the findings of the Auditor General are that the budget spending is not aligned to key performance areas, which hampers basic service delivery targets that the municipality should be putting for itself. I want to check in terms of the prevalence of the bucket system within the Karib District municipality. What is the extent of the bucket system, and what are the plans to eradicate the bucket system? Also, to follow up on the question of the overpayment to Section 56 managers, I don't think it is enough for the municipal manager to say that they have written letters and there has been no response. Whereas statutorily, the MFMA Section 60, Section 61 and Section 62 outlines what is expected of the municipal manager. Have you satisfied yourself that you've conducted investigations that monies that were overpaid to people can be recovered before you asked for waivers? Were investigations conducted in that regard? Thank you.
Okay, let's get space and then Kubev.
Thank you very much. Just a general question, and I would like to have an honest answer, is what would you deem your relationship with the Auditor General? So it is a huge concern when the AG says that. There is just not an adequate frame of when this will be addressed as a concern, which is a huge concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Kubev.
No, thanks, Kabaza. Thank you very much as well. I think the municipality is relatively small, looking at the size of its budget and how it's funded. I think more than 90-something% of its budget is funded from either grants or equitable share. So that tells you that it's not a sustainable picture or financial position. That's what accountant would usually say. But then I think, Chair, I must say, I think the municipality, yes, it might have some findings, but I think it's not as blinky the picture as the one that preceded them. Yeah. So I
won't allow you to. Do that comparison. Just talk to this one.
Okay. But I think. My question, I think that I should pose, should be one. Given that the municipality is relying on grants, what is your plan as the municipal leadership to grow the municipal own revenue base? I think you only made around 3.5 million from yourselves, which is around 3%. So what are your plans around making your own, which obviously you ended up having a deficit? Secondly, what would your position, perhaps, don't you think you would maximize your capacity if perhaps you are integrated into another municipalities, given the financial position of the municipality? That I'm asking in line with the first question, that do you have any plans that will increase your own revenue?
Thank you, Chair. Mine is just two questions because looking at the reports of municipality, it shows that they've been getting unqualified audit outcomes, which is fairly good, but not what we're expecting because we're expecting you to fully account for every money that you get. So our expectation is that you get a clean audit. So when the MM was presenting, she indicated that they have identified a lack of capacity in the municipality. Hence, they had to utilize a consultant for the annual financial statement preparation in the last financial year. And then also mentioned that they want to build internal capacity so that they can do that on their own in future. To be precise, I think she said in 3 years' time. Can you please take us along on how are you planning to build that internal capacity? And since you have appointed this consultant, do you see any progress internally in terms of skills transfer? Because what we've observed is that most municipalities have came to us and say, we are utilizing consulted for temporarily because we want to build internal capacity, only to realize that even after 5 years, the consultant are still there, the capacity is not there. And then secondly, you also mentioned something about unfunded budget. Adopting a budget that is not funded, it simply means that you are selling unrealistic dream because it's not realistic. You will not have enough money to cover your costs. For this financial year, how is the state of your budget? And to our surprise, because we've taken a resolution long time ago that municipalities must not adopt unfunded budget because it's not going to work. And in that resolution that we have taken, we're expecting the Department of Cogta, together with the Department of Treasury, to ensure that no municipality will get any grant until they fix their budget. The reason why we are having MIGs that are going back is because municipality adopt a budget that they know that they are not going to fund. So while they are supposed to use money for grant to be where it's supposed to be allocated, they then use that money for their salaries. When they are supposed to account, they are unable to account, and then the money will not come to that particular municipality. Lastly, Chair, there is a lack of internal control in the municipality as per the AG, which also has an element of lack of consequence management system. What measures have you put in place to ensure that you address this matter? Thank you.
You're going to respond. Let me see how many hands on the one side. Those are the two. That's fine. I didn't get you before. Okay, no, so that will be 3, but that will be later. Let's do the response.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like to handle the one of the unfunded budget. I am sure the honourable member Akavanga Kakuhle, our budget is funded, Chair. But what the MM was trying to say is our budget is very limited, Chair, because we are dependent on grants. The equitable shares and the provincial assistant grant is what is keeping the municipality going, and the smaller revenue that we are having on the rental that we are doing, Chair. Chair, the issue is the limited budget. Hence, we have the problem of EUIFW. Chair, I want to make an example. Because we are avoiding to have an unfunded budget, we end up budgeting. Let me make an example for Auditor General. We budget 500,000. And the audit fees, when they come, Chair, is 3.5 million or 3 million rands per audit. So already, we are lacking with 2.5 million. Hence, we'll always have the UIFW, Chair. So the issue is not that the budget is unfunded, but the issue is the budget is very limited. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Mayor. Honourable Chair, in terms of the first question of budget spending according to KPIs, we try to respond to it to say our situation, maybe we need to work it out with the AG, because our situation is not the same as those of local municipalities where you'll have basic services, but there's a project that you're going to be audited on with a financial funding to say this is the amount of the project. So with us, they are all over. So it's like we do the wastewater, we do the quality water and so on. If we had enough money, we would say for wastewater or for quality water, we've got this budget, and then we are measured against that. So this is a conversation that we need to have with AG to say, how do we deal with the issues of district municipalities? Because they are not the same as the local municipalities, but the AG will also maybe pronounce itself on that one. And then the issue of bucket eradication, most of our district here in the Free State Province, especially let me talk about Karib, we are only performing 6 functions as by then, as it was outlined by the then MEC. The district is performing only local economic development, disaster management, tourism development, ADP, firefighting, and municipal environmental health. We are not performing any bulk services as the municipality. So we don't have a bucket eradication based on the functions that are assigned to the district. So bucket eradication is not one of them, Honourable Member. The issue of overpayment, yes, the matter was referred to the disciplinary board, and then the disciplinary board said there's no financial misconduct in that one. So what needed to happen, because the law allows that you can ask a waiver from the minister to say, in terms of these conditions, people were appointed at this level, and then after a few time, can we reduce the amount or what? If the MEC or the minister is not granting that, definite step is due for us to repay those monies. So hence we are saying the item is before the MPEC, and in the council it will sit. So if the council say pay back the money will definitely be paid back. But we exhausted other avenues, like we requested for a waiver before. It's not that we are condoning to say it was right to do it that way. Hence, we are saying in this new council, people are paid according to the Gazette. And then the issue of the AG, we do have a relationship with the AG, but we always differ on some issues, Honourable Member. The AG would want to say some things like maybe make a finding and we'll have to defend it as a municipality. But most of the time, we do find a common ground. But there will be those 1 or 2 issues that you will miss, and then you'll get it in the management report. But that doesn't mean that we've got a bad relationship with the AG. They do advise us. Sometimes when I'm expected to do something, they are phone caller to say, if I do this, what will be the implication thereof? And then the AG, they are always available to give an opinion to say, no, this will put you in the red. This is how best we can approach it. So we do have that relationship with them. We are not having a bad relationship with them. And then, yeah, we need to agree as the municipality to say, in terms of the report saying there are no investigations conducted and so on from the municipality in terms of the UIF, there is no real consequence management. And we would want as a municipality to improve on that to ensure next time we'll have a record or a register to say these are the issues that were handled or the matters that were referred for consequence management. And then the executive mayor responded on the issue of the funded budget. And then what we can also say is that as a municipality, we've taken some of our staff officials for a peace officer training, so that we can start issuing fines and collecting on behalf of the municipality. So it has already started now in July as a municipality, so we're hopeful that we'll receive any income from that.
Okay. I think you are done there. Is there something missing?
No, thank you. I'm fine. It was the issue of internal controls, but I was going to ask the CFO to respond on it.
He will respond when we come back. Can we take the members? You are on the second round, madam. So let's start with the first round first. Yes. Bega and then go. You're done. You did the first round. No. That's where we're supposed to be. Yes. We start with Van Sale, Mtetwa. Do I miss anybody else? That's fine. Oh. Do I miss anybody else? Okay, you'll be there, Shane. Please, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. The overpayment, it was just mentioned. I mean, it was asked, and I don't think it's properly answered. You said that it's in front of MPAC, the overcharging or overpayment or over giving salary. Who will pay back that money? Will it be the municipality or the managers that was overpaid? I think that is critical for us to understand. And then your EHPs. Look, I'm from Burgersdorp in the Eastern Cape, so I know Betuli. It's just like neighbouring me. And I know there's a lot of sewage spillages in that town into the Orange River, because I also have part of the Orange River with me. Is your EHPs issuing compliance? Because you said you're a district that doesn't really deliver a lot of services, 6 key functions. Are your EHPs functioning? Are you issuing compliance notices? That's the first thing. And then another thing is, I understand you are spending 81% of your budget on salaries. 81% of your budget on salaries. Is this correct? Chairperson, I think if we can maybe request from them, I understand that they won't have that on hand, but of that 81% that they're spending on the staff component of the whole budget, 81%, can we get a detailed report to the Parliamentary Committee on the breakdown of staff composition, the organogram, your expenditure, assets, and your fleet? I think that's very important for us to understand. I'm very shocked, Chairperson, about this 81% of the budget on salaries. Thank you.
Thank you. Nyambosa.
Thank you, Chair. I'll ask a very controversial question.
If you say so,
yeah,
it must be very bad, because you are otherwise controversial. All right. Never.
Yes.
Oh, you got supporters. I'll leave you. Continue.
Yes, my controversy is that something is not adding up here. You can't have a municipality that exists with a jurisdiction. By virtue of having a jurisdiction, it means there is land and there are people. Then the question is, are you not even able to raise money using the land you have? That's one question. Number two, there's a possibility that the white people have not returned the land to the black people. And as a result, they are rich in a province where blacks are poor. So something is wrong. So which means the ownership patterns in terms of economy, factors of production, are so unequal that the 8% is actually the tail waging the dog, whereas it's supposed to be the dog waging the tail. So in this case, we have many black people who are in your area because you look like you are dependent as a welfare, yet you can't have that institution. That means something happened. It's either there was mine closure or either you were redemarcated outside the scope of rich areas and then you were left out because you are black, most of you, and poor. And then all the rich was redemarcated because in the old order, the white people used to take all the rich economic generators into themselves. And then the black people would become labor reserves. And then in terms of stay, you are in the Bantustan part of municipality and the whites are in the affluent part of the municipality. This is the controversy for me. And then it is not only in your municipality alone, the entire province. It shows that the land reform, restoration of land to blacks who were forcibly removed in this province by the Afrikaners, when they declared this province Vrystaat, after they were chased by the British in the Cape region, it has not been resolved. And we need to deal with that. But I see whites are rich, the farmers are rich, but the blacks are poor. You can't have that. Something is wrong there. We need to fix it. And also, is it not that that land, which is now a jurisdiction of the municipality, was belonging to a traditional authority? We should have been given to them so that at least they constitute themselves and actually run themselves. And also, is it not that that land, which is now a jurisdiction of the municipality, was belonging to a traditional authority? We should have been given to them so that at least they constitute themselves and actually run themselves.
Tracking in the right direction in terms of books. But we all know there is this ongoing concern that you find that sometimes there is so much emphasis put on cleaning the books that you find that when you look at that vis-a-vis the service delivery is oil and water. So I just wanted to find out from yourselves that in terms of the whole, as my first question, the way you are tracking now, of course, trying to catch up and get your books right, what is your own, let alone what's in the report, what is your own estimation of service delivery in terms of being placed with the circumstances that you have right now? And then also, I did not hear, Chair, second question. I know that it's difficult, we are small, but I did not pick up any effort at all towards revenue generation, unless I missed something. Thank you.
Please respond.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good morning, Honorables. Good afternoon. We are a district municipality. We are not a local municipality, so we don't own land. Our function, one of our functions is to support the local municipality. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Chair, in terms of the overpayment, the managers are the ones who are going to pay the money back, not the municipality. And then the issue of EHPs, yes, Honorable Member, we do have EHPs. We do also issue compliance letters to the locals should there be any transgressions. The report in terms of the 81% in terms of employee-related costs will be forwarded, all the information, but I missed some of the items that need to form part of the report, but it will be availed. And then in terms of service delivery, yes, we are delivering the basic services that were your water testing, your shop, the shop owners, whether they comply and all those things. We are doing that as a municipality with the limited resources. And then in terms of the issue of revenue, I think we've touched on it before to say, as a municipality, we are trying to get peace officers to assist, and then we rented out our buildings. We were also discussing with the executive mayor in our meeting to say, how do we cut the cost of the employees? Because some we feel that some benefits are not really needed. So we are embarking on that exercise to deal with that. Yeah, and then we'll see also, or the MBD is also busy with a capacity assessment in terms of the municipality, just to check which of the powers and functions can they take back to the municipality that we can perform. So next week we are having that assessment from MBD. Thank you.
Okay. Mkalipi, no, I thought you said 81% they must go and detail it and give it to us. You want to know if that is correct? No. Let's not have supporters. We have the team on the table. 81%, is it correct?
It is correct, Honorable Member.
Okay, you are going to get your report. Okay, listen, let's do it this way. You give me your last question, you give me your last question, let's close it.
Okay.
You're on the floor?
Yeah, it's a follow-up.
You've got 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's a follow-up. Yes, it's a follow-up regards to the issue of houses. And you responded by saying that is not your mandate. It's true. I have a correct information. It's about that 8 million that I spoke about, that you took it and you spend it somewhere, not supposed to be spent in Smithfield, about the electricity. So now there's a story that needs to be confirmed, that in that 8 million, the contractor that got the tender, the specification according to the contractor was supposed to be 300 houses to be electrified. But you as a district, you find out that the contractor didn't electrify the 300 houses, but only 100 houses according to the contractor. But further to that, the district also found out later that even that 100 that is confirmed by the contractor is not correct. So therefore, I'm told that there was also a report to the council that you adopted, whereby you recommended that you are going to issue a public apology for the downgrading of this contractor. Is it true or is not true? Because 8 million is too much, Chair, if it's going to be this kind of problems around it.
Okay. All right, yes. So what?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the municipality achieved 35% of its basic service delivery targets. The budget spent in this regard is undeterminable, as municipal spending is not aligned with KPAs. The question is, how is a municipal budget spent not aligned with its KPAs? That's the first question. The next one, the municipality in 2023-24 MFMA audit report indicated that unauthorized and irregular expenditure, along with fruitless and wasteful expenditure, was not investigated to determine if any person was liable for the expenditure. The question there is the second one. Why were these investigations not done? Was this on purpose? Was the executive trying to hide something? Why would so much of irregular expenditure not be investigated? Thank you, Chair.
Fonse?
Thank you, Chair. Who will pay back the money? The managers who got the money or the municipality? And the second one, the EHPs, are they issuing the compliance notices, and has the sewage spillages been resolved as a result of that? Thank you.
Matiwan?
Thank you, Chair. On this issue of overpayments, Chair, we are getting conflicting answers from the municipal manager. She says that they conducted a disciplinary process and that they found that no one was guilty. Then they went to the MEC to ask for a waiver. And then now she's saying council is investigating to determine if a person will pay. Then my colleague there asks, who's going to pay? Is it the municipality or the person or the people who were overpaid? She says, no, the people who were overpaid. But you have already instituted a disciplinary process according to what you said to us. So which is which? Is the disciplinary process that was taken, or what was the response that you got from the MEC in the 3 years that you have been writing to them and you have not been getting the answer that you seek, which is to get a waiver? What is the basis of you not getting a waiver? That is not what you are getting from the municipal manager. Thank you.
Please respond.
No, thank you, Honorable Chair. The issue of the 8 million, I said the allocation was 23 million, and there was an instruction from DMRE to say from that amount you must pay cents like 8.5 million because Muhokare used the money for INEP for salaries. So the money was transferred to the district account, and then we were instructed to pay the 8.5 to Centlex so that Centlex can release the designs and the district must continue with the project. So the 8.5 million went there for as an instruction from DMRE. It is not the money that we said, let us go and implement houses or whatever. So we were working with Mokare, and I'm not sure, the mayor will talk to that. There's no way where we said we're going to issue a public apology, because there's nothing wrong that we did as a district. Because the money that was left was 15 million, and the service provider appointed was 20 million. So there was already a shortfall. Hence, a DMRE gave us money, allocated funding this year to say complete whatever was outstanding. So I don't understand when they say we were supposed to go and apologize for what. Maybe I'm wrong there, but there was no way that we took an item to council for us to apologize for something wrong that we did not commit as a municipality. And then the issue of, let me talk about the issue of overpayment. Immediately the item, when we found that there was an overpayment, we requested a waiver, of which we did not get any responses. And then this impact that came in, they identified that overpayment, and they said the matter must go to the disciplinary board. The disciplinary board said there's no financial misconduct here because we were paid those money. However, the issue of overpayment was standing.
So the MPECs that we are going to conduct our investigations, and we provided them with all the information, the letters and so on. So it's upon the council now to say, we've seen everything, but in spite of that, as you are saying, Honourable Member, there is a gazette to say this is what needed to be paid. So if the council pronounce itself and say, let those directors who have paid this money pay back the money, those directors will have to pay back the money. That is what I'm saying. So we are just awaiting to hear what is the MPEC and the council resolving on, so that if that needs to, whatever sanction will be given to the municipality, it will be implemented accordingly, because we could not get responses, and I don't know why didn't the MEC or the minister respond to the municipality. That is something that I don't have a response to, and I will not sit here and mislead the House. So I'm saying if the council is saying pay back, the money will be paid back for the people who benefited from it, not the council. And then the issue of the EHPs, ma'am, we said we said it's true, it's 81%, and then we said also the EHP, we are having them. We do have peace officers as well, and when there's a transgression, they do issue the compliance letter to say you failed to comply, and we are doing that in consultation with DWS. So yes, there is that action that is happening, and immediately we'll write to the local municipality to say, can you go and attend to this challenge? And the local municipality will give a report subsequent to that to say we did address the situation, or if there are any hiccups, then we can say. But we do have that communication with the local municipalities. I'm not sure, Chair, if there's anyone that I left out. Or the issue of MPEC. I think we've responded to that to say the key performance indicators, we've been responding to it to say we need to sit with the AG to check how best can we respond to it, because we don't have an assigned or a dedicated budget for water quality only, and I think the AG was based on water quality. Hence, I said we need to have a meeting with AG to say, AG, how best can we respond to this so that you find a satisfaction and you see we are compliant in terms of that. So it's something which is outgoing. They brought it for the first time in the previous financial year, so we are engaging with them to say in this financial year, how best can we respond to that. I think I will stop at that. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any? All right. Is that your hand or your finger? Your hand. Okay. I thought you were showing me the other gentleman. All right. That's fine. Let's have the three of you and close. Excuse me. You never asked. You asked. You say it wasn't answered. All right. I'll come to you. Can we deal with? Let's start with Cogta and move on.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think one of the issues, especially in this district municipality, was when the Jagersfontein disaster happened. It actually exposed the disaster management responsibility and capacity of this district municipality. And just a reminder, when a disaster breaks, it affects all communities. So maybe the question to the district is, do you have a functional disaster management center? And if not, have you? What are the budgetary constraints, and have you spoken to the MEC of Cogta and even Treasury in this regard to establish a functional disaster management center? Thank you, Chair.
Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, my question is regarding the MIG funding that is being sent to the various municipalities that fall under the Karib District. What is Karib District's involvement with checks and balances, making sure that this MIG funding that's being used, especially on waste treatment plants, etc., all of those projects, what is your involvement? Are you also on the ground assisting there with checks and balances? And then secondly, in terms of, as I understand, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that a lot of money of Copanong, etc., is being channeled via the Karib District because of financial issues at Copanong. Are we assured that the money that is being sent via Karib District to be utilized for service delivery, etc., in Copanong, Muakara, etc., is there checks and balances in place? Are we assured that money is not going to be utilized for the Karib District's operations? Thank you.
Last question.
Thank you, Chair. All right. Firstly, just a comment. If you can't produce your salary bill, it actually, as a municipality, you become totally dysfunctional. It's pointless just sitting there typing out compliance certificates and not delivering services. So you must get your salary bill done. Then why did it take so long to actually establish the impact committee? Your finance committee is supposed to be representative of every single political party. At this stage it is not. And a request for the Speaker to move Councillor van Wyk, Richard van Wyk, to the BTO committee has not been answered, and he has not been moved. So your finance committee or BTO committee at this stage is not transparent. Could you give us clarity on that? And then, has a feasibility study been requested or completed before your request to Cogta to establish your water testing laboratory of your own? So in other words, what I'm asking is it not going to be more expensive because now you've got rent, you've got electricity, resource management, all that type of things to pay, instead of where you're just paying for the transportation to the UFS at the moment? And then the last question. It's just, I just want to know the SCM manager. Has he been investigated for any improprieties or link or to possibly irregularly awarding contracts? What was the reason for his sudden resignation? And that's it. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. You said your questions are not answered. Just remind them so that we can put them in the page.
Yes, Chair. Chair, the first one was the municipality achieved 35% of its basic service delivery targets. The budget spent in this regard was undeterminable, as municipal spending is not aligned with KPAs. The question was, how is a municipal budget spent not aligned with KPAs? That was the first one. The second one was, in 2023-2024, MFMA audit report indicated that unauthorized and irregular spending, unauthorized, irregular, and fruitless and wasteful expenditure was not investigated. And the question was why? Are they hiding something? Are they protecting someone? If so, who is being protected? That was the question, Chair.
Okay. You last. You got 20 seconds.
Thank you, Chairperson. Mine is quick. I just want to know, are you aware of Section 32 of the MFMA? Because it specifically outlines how to recover the overpayment. So there's no question about it. The people that were overpaid must pay it back.
No, thank you.
Please respond.
Honorable Chair. The issue of the Functional Disaster Management Center is not fully fleshed currently, but what is more efficient is on the firefighting side, where we did receive some donations of equipment. So we are having engagements with the Cogta in terms of assisting the municipality to have a disaster management center because of its location on the N1. So we don't have a center, but we do have staff that is assisting us, and we are working with other stakeholders. In terms of the money for MIG, we are doing this with Cogta provincially and also MISA. Before we make any payments, we would get a certificate from MISA and also Cogta to say we did verify their job, and then they attach their signature there. So we don't just pay without that confirmation report. So we are relying on the assistance of MISA currently. And we can say the money was in the bank account because we are doing reconciliation on a monthly basis with Cogta. And then the issue to reduce salary bill, yes, it's a thorny issue. We are working on it. Hence, we said we identified there were also officials who are receiving some benefits and they don't qualify for that. So we engaged. We took the item to council. We also engaged the labor unions. They are in agreement with the municipality. So we are working on that. But what is difficult is even when we freeze post when people resign, but every year there's that increment from the bargaining council. So we get, it's about 5% increment until we ask for an exemption. So that's something that we are working on, because if we continue like this, we would not be able to afford that anymore. And then the issue of the MPECs, the current MPEC is also addressing backlog issues from the previous years. We did have MPEC before, but they were not functional. We are not sure it was an issue of capacity or what, but the current one that we are having, they are still dealing with the issues of backlog from the previous councils. So the impact will be insignificant because the amount that they have been recommended to be written off is a small amount. It does not make an impact. But I also made an undertaking to currently we are having 2 financial years registered, that next week the MPEC is sitting. So when the AG comes around, there will be a significant improvement on that. There's nobody who's protected, and there's nobody who said the MPEC should not sit. Honorable member. And then the issue of the SCM manager, he resigned last year, is true. Yeah, there were some issues that we were trying to investigate, and then suddenly there was, but the matter is not closed. We are still pursuing the matter because we know where the employee is, and then we'll have to come back to respond to some of the issues. But yes, he resigned abruptly last year. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. On the question of Committee of Finance, we have an open policy in the district municipality. We did talk with Councillor Van Wyk, and then I did told him if he have any concern around issues of finance, he can come to the office of the Speaker. We are balancing the gender in that department. We are having 2 female and 1 male. If we are going to include Councillor Van Wyk, that means we have to put out a female, and then we put in Councillor Van Wyk, so we cannot afford to do that. So we are fine like that. So we are having an open policy with Councillor Van Wyk if you have issues that you want to raise around the Committee of Finance. Thank you.
You need a bilateral. You need a bilateral. I'm not going to allow you to go further. And I'm not taking any new question. Okay, what's the question?
I wanted to know why did it take so long for impact to be established? That wasn't answered.
Okay, just respond. There's been quite a bit said on the impact.
When you say how long, what long?
Listen. Let's get back to the basics. Speaker, let's get back to the basics. If you want to ask questions, you ask for my permission. You don't have it. You only got a permission to answer. Now, whether it's how long, if you think it wasn't long, you must tell us how long it took. If you are not happy that whatever it took is seen as long, then you must just tell us the time, then we will do our own judgment. So let's talk about the MPEC. I didn't want us to go back to this, but the way you're answering it now, you're making it a bit problematic. When was it appointed, and what is the issue with MPEC now?
Sorry, Chairperson.
Wait. Let's have... What's this excitement? Mayor, you didn't get the question asked to you. It was asked to the Speaker. Now, let's first hear Speaker. When was MPEC set up, and why do you think that's good enough? Why do you think that's acceptable?
Thank you, Chair, and I'm apologizing. When we did set up committees of council, we also did the MPEC.
Time now. Now you've asked a question.
In 2022, because we are appointed in 2021.
The MPEC has been in existence since then.
Since we have been in council, Chair.
All right. If you got contradictory information, give me the facts that we can pursue this issue. I don't want us to continue now. But just as a matter of courtesy for everyone out there, you are in front of a committee of parliament. It's got a particular decorum that is associated with it. It starts with respect, and it goes to the issue of honest answers so that you don't mislead Parliament. You do not have the right to ask questions, but if you want to ask the question, you can raise it so I can understand why such an anomaly should be permitted. Accountability is you answering to the legislature and to National Assembly, which is what you have. We only shifted the venue, but we're still Parliament. So it does require a good degree of respect. So I don't want us to take it too casually, or sometimes that might create problems, and people think that you can deal with it in any way. It's actually quite a serious situation. If you mislead us now, you can be charged. Not just charged as like, we report you to your council. It's a criminal charge to lie to Parliament. So it's as serious as that. We didn't take an oath as we walked in here. We took it when we went to Parliament, and so whenever we go under oath of Parliament. These members are not allowed to behave in an unparliamentary manner. And if they do, it's our duty to go and report them to Parliament to be disciplined or acted upon. So everyone here has to hold that decorum. And I think your response has made it necessary for me to say that so that the rest of the others who come in must know. We're not coming here for a very casual exercise. It is quite serious. If you didn't behave yourself properly and if you actually transgress the parliamentary prescripts, you actually have action coming. So I think we need to understand that. Having said so, I'd like us to close. We have been very slow, and I'm sure the members who have had so many questions to ask will understand why we're going to drag longer than what was written on the program. And it is going to be a bit longer than what we initially anticipated, because we do understand the members of Parliament are here to ask questions. And when they do ask questions, they must be given that opportunity. But because the municipalities also have been given a particular program, we have to try and see how much we can deal with them so that we don't disturb the programs they would have set for tomorrow and our programs for tomorrow. The night that lies ahead of us will still have a number of hours that can be taken advantage of. So thank you very much to the team of Karib. What we note on your municipality is the fact that it's a very small municipality. You've tried your best, but we'd like you to know we don't want you to stay with the kind of audit outcome you have until you are it clean. So you have to still do a lot more. A number of challenges that have been raised, which we note. On the one side, I think that we need to call on the national minister and provincial government to work with and support you as a municipality because of the lack of a significant revenue base, which would mean that you remain grant dependent, which for us is unsustainable. That's an issue that's a huge challenge which we can see. Then we're also concerned about your expenditure pattern. 81% of budget going to salaries, wages, is huge. We have asked for a breakdown so that you can look at that. But on the other hand, it is a matter of concern that we pay people salaries and when they're done, they have no money to go and deliver services. I think that's a challenge. We also believe that work has to be done to ensure that the MPAC is fully functional. And I'm going to ask that the MEC must also look at setting timelines and targets for setting up and also making sure that it operates and monitor its operations, particularly on the issue of investigating the unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure. And also that process needs to give us consequence management. And when it comes to consequence management, I would like that to be recorded so that we have a proper report of what consequence management is taking place as a result of the activities of your MPAC. But we also think it's important to actually appeal for province and national to assist and build support, build capacity and give you support so that the district is also able to help the local municipalities. We've seen that some of the times we have to ultimately rely on in particular infrastructure grant being dispersed from the district municipality. However, there was this concern of the municipal infrastructure grant which was not spent for the required purposes, and that this is an issue that needs to be curbed so that we don't have that continuing. We also think that you need assistance to deal with the issue of the use of consultant versus building internal capacity. We want to emphasize the fact that the use of consultants is something we're discouraging, rather want to encourage building of internal capacity. With that said, I want to say we will get the report. We'll give you you'll give us the report on the municipal finances, which we will get to the you'll get to the MEC, and we'll then pick it up from there. Having said that, I want to say thank you very much. We will now release you. You will be free to leave this venue, and we'll get the next municipality to come to the fore. I think the next municipality is supposed to be Litsimeng. Thank you very much. Travel safely. Litsimeng. Please introduce yourselves, and then we've got 10 minutes for the presentation, and we'll go to questions thereafter.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable greetings to all honorable members that are present in the meeting. Chair, my name is Councillor Ramokgetsi Bonolo Ingrid Motšwaledi. I'm the mayor of Litsimeng local municipality. On my far left, it's Honorable Xolani Mutukwane is the Speaker of Litsimeng local municipality. On my right-hand side, it's the acting municipal manager, Ms. Indiswa Maneli. On my left, immediate left, it's acting CFO, Dade Stembile Doi. Chair, we have received, I think, about 3 concerns from the portfolio committee. And I must indicate, Chair, that today we will be presenting factual account on the state of our municipality in response to the audit report that we have received from the Auditor General. I must indicate, Chair, that the going concern, uncertainty, which a question was raised to ourselves if we will have the ability to continue to operate fully. Yes, we are in a process, Chair, to ensure that we get to operate fully as an institution. Chair, when we received our material irregularity, which relates to the late payment to ESCOM, resulting in interest in 2021, when we took over as this administration in July 2022, the then acting municipal manager was suspended by council. Chair, when we met with the Auditor General on the material irregularity, we were expected to give a detailed report on how are we going to deal with the material irregularity. Number one, we're expected to go into a payment plan with ESCOM. Must confirm, sitting here, Chair, with the team, that we have not concluded our payment plan with ESCOM due to the proposed payment plan that was submitted to ESCOM. ESCOM has rejected it. Part of our proposal to ESCOM was that we had requested for them to write off our interest that they had charged Litsime. Secondly, we're expected to go into a payment agreement with Galfontein Water Association. Can confirm here, Chair, that we have made strides, and Galfontein has given us time to pay the current account until such a time that they consider writing off the interest of the bulk account. Must confirm here, Chair, also that we have gone into payment arrangement with the following. On ESCOM, Chair, we are currently paying the small accounts, the current account. They are up to date as of today, Chair. We have gone into payment arrangement with Auditor General. As we are currently owing them 900, there is a payment arrangement in place. We are owing Sala Pension 15 million. There is payment arrangement with regard to that, and we are keeping to our payment arrangement. The NFWM pension fund, we are owing them 1 million. There is payment arrangement to it, and we are keeping to our payment arrangement. There is an arrangement with Salga. We had defaulted with Salga for 1 month, if I'm not mistaken, Chair. We are currently at 925, and there is a payment plan to that effect. Chair, I must indicate that the ESCOM small accounts are being paid. The Orangerie Water Association, we are on current account with them. SARS, we are on current account. Other third parties like your medical aid and other deductions from employees, we are on current account. With the Free State Pension Fund, we are on current account. With regard to the SMMEs, Chair, I must indicate that we are not fully have paid off our SMMEs, but we are on 70% with their current account. Chair, we also had to look into our critical fleet procurement because we were leasing out particularly water tankers and suction truck. Can confirm it to you, Chair, sitting here with the team, that in May 2025, the water tanker and the suction truck has been delivered to the municipality, and we will be procuring a TLB by the end of this financial year. Chair, during this financial year of 2024-2025, to respond to the material irregularity, we had to look into the issue of our electrical meter audit, where we were having electricity loss. We did that internally, Chair. We have a fairly capacitated internal electricity unit, and that meter audit was concluded in the 2023-2024 financial year. After that, we then made a request to the Free State Provincial Treasury, requesting them to assist us with an amount of 1 million. And the allocation, Chair, must indicate that we did receive a positive response from them, and the allocation we received them in 2024 in March. We, from the allocation from Provincial Treasury, Chair, we then procured 65 meters, which are 3-phase, 162 single-phase split ATA, 158 3-phase split electricity meters, and those materials were delivered to the municipality on the 28th of August 2024. Must indicate to you, Chair, that sitting here, our electricity collection is at 100%. We are currently, Chair, busy replacing 50 meters for the large power users for commercial customers. And I must indicate, Chair, that our collection rate as a whole in the municipality has moved from that 1% where it was when we closed our books in 2024-2025 to 48% as of last week. Chair, we are also expected to deal with the audit action plan. Must indicate to Chair that indeed an audit action plan has been tabled in Council in January 2025. An audit action plan as of May 2025 is a standing item in all EXCO meetings. Chair, to deal with the audit action plan, the Auditor General has raised a lot of issues. I think, Chair, we are unqualified with 17 paragraphs. We had increased our findings from 14 to 17 paragraphs, if I'm not mistaken, Chair. And I think the qualification areas for ourselves as an institution has mainly been on our asset, which is our property, plant and equipment, and investment property. Must indicate, Chair, that we are not a capacitated institution. Therefore, we went out and had to get consultants to come and assist us with particularly our property, plant and equipment, and also our investment property. Chair, we have a report on the work that has been done. What we had requested the consultant to do for us is to do a task planner, which we would get progress on with POEs on a bi-weekly basis. As management, we would always extend it to them. We have a report on the work that has been done to date by the consultant that is assisting ourselves with asset, Chair. We also have got a weekly report on that, Chair. Just to take the committee through our total assets, Chair, we have the following. Summary of our asset category, which is our buildings and community assets. Our total assets is 410. The total scans that the consultants have done, it's 298. They are still busy with it. On electricity asset is 330. They've done to date 167. Movable asset is 2,221. The total scans is 1,000. Roads and water is 1,136, and total scan to date is 536. This is just to demonstrate that our audit action plan, Chair, is just not an audit action plan, which is a exercise for just ticking the box, but work is being done on the ground. Chair, when we met with the Auditor General, one of the advices was that given our history with using conditional grants for operations, we must, as an institution, ring-fence our conditional grants. I can confirm to you, Chair, that from the month of July 2024 to date, we had received an allocation of 5.4 million on WASIC, and that 5.4 million was also reinvested from July to date. MIG, we had received 5.2, it was reinvested. On FMG, we had received 3 million, it was ring-fenced, and EPWP was 1.2 million, and it was also ring-fenced. The interest that we had earned on the ring-fenced grants, Chair, is 554,000. Chair, I'm also going to deal with the issue of the audit of the MPEC reports. There is an established MPEC committee since 2022. Must indicate to you, Chair, that we are lagging behind with our investigation on UIF and W. MPEC had set their meeting. They had tabled to us on the 22nd of July in Council their investigation that they did on the fruitless and wasteful expenditure for the 2023-2024. Ourselves as Council, we referred the item back because of the following reason. we needed MPEC to include in their report a work plan that they would stick to during this financial year. We needed MPEC to also investigate irregular expenditure and unauthorized expenditure. Hence, we said to MPEC that they must go and review those and come back to council to include their work plan. Chair, for a better part of 2024-2025, the municipality did not have an audit committee. The audit committee has now been appointed by council, and they have started to work, Chair. The audit committee, their interviews was held, and members were appointed. Me Rampa, Me Suunelo, Lintate Salamani are our audit committee for the next coming 3 years. As an institution chair, which...
Round up, your time is up.
Which is one of the reasons why we don't have consequence management as an institution chair, is that we did not have a DC board. But I can confirm to you, Chair, sitting here today, that the council has a disciplinary board. But I can confirm to you, Chair, sitting here today, that that was dealt with on the 22nd of July 2022. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Yes, it was done. Yes, 22nd of July. It was done. It was done. Yes. Yes, it was done. Yeah. If it wasn't done, it would be not done, because 22nd is gone. It's done. One. Let's see the hands now. One. All right. Let's take a row. Let's shorten our questions now. I'd love that you could just to take 30 seconds out of 1 minute.
Chair, if this was a business, we are going to just close it because of the going concern issues that were raised by AG. Budgets are not done correctly here. You're using grants for operations, which is incorrect, and you know that. Pension funds are not paid to the fund. I'm worried, Chair, if the employees know that their pension funds that are retained by the municipality, they fund operations of the municipality and they do not pay to the fund. Chair, the municipality can't pay ESCOM, and it's their sole mandate is to provide light. It's this mandate of the local government, and it's the mandate of the municipality. But you can't pay ESCOM. And ESCOM was at appropriations asking for a debt relief. So I'm not sure, Chair, if it was a business, we're going to close this thing. Thank you.
Next, thank you.
Chair, my colleague has said it all. I can only add to say that if the very leadership of this municipality cannot pay their own accounts, 12 councillors that are in arrears for more than 90 days, that is just very wrong, because you are supposed to lead, and if councillors are not complying and they are in contravention of the Municipal Finance Management Act, that is just wrong from all levels, and I don't want to understand what are you doing about it. Have these councillors been called in? What is the action? Because there's also legislation that prescribes as to what needs to happen if councillors do not, if they are running into arrears in terms of their accounts. In terms of the material irregularity that you have partly commented on that in your payment plans in terms of paying off ESCOM. But for now, I will stop there. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Next, Matthew.
Thank you, Chair. Let's make local municipality in violation of the Bill of Rights, Section 27, subsection 1B of the Constitution, and Regulations 3 and 4 relating to the compulsory national standards and measures to conserve water, has failed to ensure that all households, particularly in informal households in Koffiefontein, have access to water. I want to check what is the contract value for the outsourced water provision services. What is being done to address the question that I had posed to the district municipality, that is the backlog in the bucket system by the municipality, and what measures are being put in place by the municipality to deal with the water shedding and communication with residents to inform them when there's going to be water shedding. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to ask from the team there, if they look at the excuse me, I think if they look at the performance of 7 years qualified, I know that it's always easy to say we were not there, but I think that most specifically, how has been your relationship, or what interventions have you appealed to the province in terms of trying to lift from this? And you yourselves, what is the time frame in terms of the turnaround? Because I think that is very critical to say what sort of time horizon you're looking at for the turnaround of this very, very, at the moment, it's a fact, I'm sorry to say, but quite hopeless situation. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, I don't know if it's the mayor, the beautiful lady that was doing the presentation was out. The mayor.
She's the mayor.
Oh, okay. She's
Thanks
young.
for the compliment.
She's young and beautiful.
Proceed.
Oh, young leadership. No, I just want to understand, because I heard her on her presentation saying that they lack a capacity. They don't have a capacity as a municipality. Now, if you don't have a capacity to do all the necessary things that you're supposed to do in order to achieve the service delivery, what is the plan, young mayor? Secondly, according to the presentation from the province, they said one of your challenges is a prolonged senior management vacancies due to the discord of political leadership. Please tell us about the political leadership and what are you planning to do about it. So now the acting MM from the municipality is from the department. So is that acting MM assisting you in order for you to achieve the capacity, in order for you to be independent, or what is the plan about this acting MM? Thanks, Chair.
May we get answers? We'll come back to the next page.
Okay, no, thank you very much, Chair. I'll respond to the intervention from the province and also the filling of vacancies on senior management. We have advertised for the MM position. We are, as per process plan, will be concluding the appointment of the MMS Council by the end of July 2025. Directors, we are envisaging to conclude it by end of October 2025. With regard to the intervention from the province, I think for the 2025-2026 budget financial year, we had support from Free State Treasury. We had bilateral meetings with them. They have assisted us to ensure that at least we have a funded budget for the 2025-2026. We have also, I had indicated that we had a 1 million allocation from Free State Treasury to assist us in caving the electricity losses that we had as an institution. We have also written to them for this financial year seeking financial assistance. Thank you. The MM and the CFO and the Speaker would respond to the 1 year areas of councillors.
Good afternoon, Chair and honorable members. Chairperson, I will respond to the issue of the areas of the councillors. The councillors have come forth to make arrangement in terms of what is owed to the municipality, and so far they've been compliant in terms of the arrangements that we have made. In terms of issues of the water shedding,
how do we communicate with the residents in order to alert them that at a particular time they will not have access to water? We use the communication channels that the residents of the local municipality are able to reach the website of the municipality, and also we attach notices. But so far, the community have got a schedule. They know that on a particular day, there will not be water as the schedule is previously communicated. The other questions, I think the CFO will respond to them, as the mayor has tried to respond to some questions. It's only those ones that are left that the CFO will respond to. Thank you, Chairperson.
Please proceed.
Okay. Good afternoon, honorable members and Chairperson. So I'm going to deal with the issue of going concern. The issue of going concern is actually coming from way back, I think around 2014 financial year. However, in the current financial year that you currently are discussing, AGSA did raise the issues of going concern. And in the main, they mentioned a couple of issues that I will deal with individually. One, they had said that our performance statement showed the net loss of 96 million. However, if you go and analyze the financial statements of Let's you'll see that there are around 120 million of non-cash adjustments. One is the depreciation of about 40 million. Two, debt impairment of about 80 million. Three, it's an impairment loss in terms of the assets of about 20 million or so. So in aggregate, those amounts add up to 120 million. Remove that from the 96 million loss, there's actually a profit there. The second issue was the issue of current ratio and the asset test ratio, where they were way below the norm. So the norm in terms of the guideline, it should be 0.5:1, meaning that for every asset that you have, there should be one liability. And so also for the asset test ratio. Now ours was below that. What we've done to improve the situation is that we have now went out to negotiate payment plan as alluded to by the mayor, where we've secured payment plans with AGSA, secured payment plan with SALA, secured payment plan with the water boards, and we currently are trying to comply with those payment plans. And then in terms of the revenue collection from our side, so what we've done is we went out and did meter audit for the large power users. So what we found is that majority of them were actually not correctly calibrated because they are way old meters. So in terms of that, the reading were obviously not correct, and those also contributed to the losses. We went back, did an audit, and then on the ground we found that around 50 LPU users meters were not correct or not up to standard, the current standard here. Some were old, readings were close to 1 million or so forth and so on. So what information that we're getting from there was basically not accurate. So we are currently busy now with the replacement of those 50 meters, LPU meters. That will obviously augment our revenues and basically make sure that we are able to comply with the short-term obligations that we have. We also went further in terms of the TIS STD convention, where we went house to house. And then our finding is that around 800 households had bypassed our meters. Obviously that will deal with the revenue issues that you currently are experiencing. So we are currently replacing those meters and ensuring that each and every household are actually paying for indigent. The other issue that contributed significantly to our going concern issue was the issue of indigents. So we currently have about 530 million of outstanding debtors. Of those, around 85 million translates to about 450 million or so. 85%, which is about 450, are households debt, and of that amount, around 90 million of that, 90% of that is beyond 1 year. So you have to say that we will not be able to get that. However, on the ground, our people are not registering for indigents. We currently have plus minus 2,000 in our indigent register, but then if you look at the demographics of, let's say, main local municipality, we should be around 7,000 households. We've actually even increased the threshold of indigent to around 6,000, contrary to, not contrary, but the guidelines of Cogta saying that should be around 3,000. So we've actually doubled that amount to ensure that majority of the people that are unable to pay for services actually are paying for services. In terms of the census 2022 results, our average household income is about 29,000, translating to about 2.4 per household. So that is way below. Majority of our people are not able to pay for the services, and that is contributing to our going concern. those are the issues that we've basically implemented to ensure that majority of the people that are not able to pay for services actually are registered on the debtors book as indigent, and we are able to write off such debt. So in terms of the going concern, I think we're on the right track to ensure that we actually are dealing with all the issues. And to add chair on top of this is that for the current financial year, we've actually implemented cost containment measures. I think our budget is one of the 9 budget within the province that has been assessed as being funded due to the initiatives that we took of the payment arrangements and liaising with all the other stakeholders to ensure that we actually do things according to the books. Thank you.
Can I? Sorry.
Chair.
Okay, we'll come back. There's that outstanding question on the use of grants and pensions for operations. Let me just see the hands that were remaining. All right. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Bega, Van Sale, Mtetwa. All right. That's fine. You want the second round? So let's just finish that first. Can you include this outstanding question? Okay, let's go ahead. Bega and then Fancy.
Okay, thank you, Chair, and greetings to the Letsimeng team. Chair, I'll just jump on to the gentleman who just spoke now. I'm not sure if he was the CFO. He spoke about cost containment measures, and the lady who spoke before him. Chair, I'm not sure what the situation is with those cost containment measures right now. Because according to AG, their water losses amounted to 2.21 million, which was equivalent to 78% of all water flowing through municipal pipelines. And their electricity losses amounted to 3.87 million. Now, for such a small municipality, that points to a very dire situation. Chair, as per the 2023-2024 MFMA audit report, the municipality was one of 49 municipalities whose financial position was so dire that they had to disclose significant doubt about their ability to operate fully. So now, the municipality has made this disclosure for more than 5 years, meaning that because of its financial position, it has not been fully operational for many years. So with that being said, Chair, I have to echo my colleague's sentiments on the other side, where he asks, should this municipality still be functioning? Should it not be closed once and for all? And this is a question now to the mayor and her team. Should this municipality not be closed and possibly amalgamated to another bigger or amalgamated with another municipality? Because of the 49 municipalities that are dysfunctional completely, this is one of them. Chair, I say this because, again, according to the reports, 83% of municipal debt is unlikely to be recovered. 1,352 days, that's how long it takes for the municipality to pay its creditors, along with everything else that the municipality owes, where they've had to basically go and ask for payment plans. So the question there, Chair, is it's simple. Should this municipality still actually even be functioning? And what should we as Parliament do about the very existence of municipalities like this that basically are dysfunctional? Thank you, Chair.
Fancy.
Thank you, Chair. The equitable share withholding letter from the Minister of Finance that you received, that he will withhold due to your pension funds that's outstanding, etc., etc. Did you respond within the 7 days? What is the status of your equitable share withholding? I'd like you just to elaborate a little bit. There was nothing covered. You did speak about the 48% debt collection. I assume, therefore, you've got an unfunded budget. What is your plan to get your debt collection up? Because 48% is really a wish list. Then where are you with Eskom debt? You said you can pay the current account, but you didn't say what was the outstanding unless I missed it. So I'd just like to know on that. Then there was a water infrastructure program in Koffiefontein, and I think that's what the member earlier referred to, where MIG funds was then effectively lost to pay Eskom. How is it possible that you are not making sure that your project money goes for projects and infrastructure rather than paying off debts? That was something we picked up. And then how are you dealing with aging infrastructure? How are you upgrading your sewage plants, your water infrastructure, etc., etc.? If I can just get a sort of quick overview. Thank you.
Teto.
Still on institutional arrangement structures at the local sphere of government, I see an opportunity here for black people. The opportunity for black people is to move away from the white culture and the white institutions of local government as they were designed, and move into our traditional governance system that we had, which was destroyed by the white order, white regime. Now, why? Because these municipalities are expected to function without a revenue base. Black people are a majority. They are outside economic circulation. White people are a minority. They are in an economic circulation. So the entire economic cake is eaten by whites. And then the blacks are only slaves, labor tenants working in farms and working in the mines, or general workers. As a result, all of this thing is no longer sustainable. For 30 years, we've been doing a trial and error on an old order system. We have an institution that was destroyed, which we are supposed to restore, to service these black people, which are our responsibility. Because something is not adding up for me. I'm a local government expert, but I have a problem. White people, they're always represented in all the structures from national, provincial to local, yet they're 8%. My question, these numbers are not tallying. It's either blacks are voting for whites, but after whites have been voted, they don't advance the interest of blacks, they advance the interest of white. As a result, you have this misnomer in terms of performance of municipalities. As a result, we need to move away. It's over with this system, it's no longer working, and I see us having an opportunity to come up with our own system. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Exon.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'd just like to ask 2 or 3 questions to the municipality. I noticed that it takes 1,352 days to pay your creditors. Is there anyone left who's prepared to do business with you on that basis? The other thing is, almost all your senior positions are not filled. Why is that? Do people just not want to come and work for you? Or do you not have the money? What is the reason for you not being able to fill those positions? And then also your outstanding amount to Eskom of 212 million rand. How does it even happen? I mean, do people just not pay bills for years on end? How did you manage to get to a point where you owed Eskom 213 million rand? Thank you.
Let's have the comments, responses.
Okay, no, thank you very much, Chair. I think most of the questions, just for clarity before the team responds, on the project of Koffiefontein, I forgot the honourable member's name. Are you referring to the stall project of the water treatment plant? Is that the one that you are referring to? Okay. Then the MM would respond together with the CFO on these ones.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think I would like to respond on the issues of the human rights. That was a question that came before these ones. Basically, the focus on more on water provision on the municipality. Chairperson, we can confirm that we did correct the pressure, and out of that, 647 households have continuous water now. And also there is refurbishment work that is happening in our wastewater treatment works. So in terms of that, we have made strides in ensuring that we comply to the issues that were raised by the Human Rights Commission. The issue of the equitable share, whether the letter was responded to within 7 days. The letter was responded to, and the municipality has received its equitable share. If there's someone who's still willing to make business with the municipality, we are still having service providers that we are making business with the municipality. But for the community also, to note, Chair, that the issue of ESCOM is a matter that happened around 2021 that has led to the municipality to be in the state that is in now, because the AG also had flagged an issue of MI around the issue of ESCOM. But CFO will speak to that in a more detailed form. We had since improved in terms of ensuring that we don't take that long in paying the service providers. I will then hand over to CFO. Then should there be those that are not responded to, I will then come again. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, thank you, Chair. So I'm going to deal with the issue of 101,332 days that it takes municipal to pay its creditors. I just want to qualify that. So if you look at the financial statements of Letsemeng for 2023-24 financial year, the closing balance of the payables, our creditors, was around 300 million. Of that amount, there are two key creditors that are included in your ESCOM, which accounts for around 70% of that. There's also Water Board, your Fontaine, which accounts for around 10% of that. Add the two together, they account for about 240 million. If you remove those from the creditors listing, it means that you have about 60 million or so of creditors. There's also an issue of pension fund. If you remove those again, we have about 45 million of creditors. So if you factor in what AG does when they calculate the average rate, the average days it takes for municipal to pay its creditors, those three are basically the biggest part of it. That's why it jumped to 1332. But then if you remove those, we are less than 90 days. So of that 90 days, we actually are trying to pay those who are able to pay. But then the three, they account for the biggest part of it. Like MMS now alluded to that. ESCOM issues are they come from way far. I also indicated when I first responded that our financial issues come as far back as 2014. So all those factors included, it will obviously add up to 1,332. But remove those three key creditors, you are less than 90 days. We take cognizance of the fact that we are still way above the requirements of MFMA, which states that you must pay within 30 days. But we are paying our creditors. I mean, just now with the equitable shares that we have received, I think the number of payments have been done where majority of our creditors are now current. That will then talk to the pension fund issues. So the issues of the pension fund started in 2022 financial year. We started first defaulting in August 2022. And the reason why we defaulted is the fact that it was basically an ESCOM issue where ESCOM, we had a battle with ESCOM. And then eventually the High Court ruled that we should pay ESCOM around 35 million within 12 months. That we complied with. However, on the downside of it is that we could not then keep up with our current obligations, that including the pension fund. So between 2022 to date, as of now, we've paid around 13 million. Of that 13 million, 6 million was paid between April and July. Now it's in yesterday. I think yesterday I paid around 4 million towards the pension fund. So we are getting there. And over the years, like the past 2 years, we've been struggling to get a payment plan with our biggest pension, which is SALA. They eventually agreed in March to enter into a payment arrangement, and we have been paying them accordingly. So what the payment plan, the way that it has been formulated is that every time that we get equitable shares, we'll make a big payment. Example, in April we paid 2 million, and then monthly is 200,000. In July we paid the 3 million, like I said, plus the other one that the mayor spoke about, NFMW. So it's going to again be 300,000 until December when you get another tranche of equitable shares. So every time that we get equitable shares, we channel it towards those key creditors to ensure that they actually eventually up to date. So as the payment plan of the pension fund, we should be up to date with SALA within the next 18 months or so, with the current account being paid on a monthly basis. The issue of the water...
Just finish off with the...
Okay.
Do the staff know about this?
Yes, they
Has the
know.
staff been affected?
Yes, so what happens is that the agreement between us and SALA is that if someone goes out on retirement or they retire, or they retire, SALA will pay them whatever they owe up to that point that they retire, and municipality will pay the difference of the contribution that should have been paid. So there hasn't been any case where someone wants to retire but they can't retire because we owe pension fund. So we have that arrangement with SALA and other pension fund and NFMW, where when someone resigns or they retire, they are paid up to a certain point when municipality defaulted, and then we take over from that and pay whatever difference there is. So staff is well aware of that, and we have engagement with our staff on that. On the issue of water losses, Honourable Councillors, so municipality does not have zonal meters where we measure consumption that we get from the water boards. So what we then do at financial year end, we take the water that we have bought according to the invoices received from the water board and the water that we sold based on the billing reports. But then there's those uncounted for water, where we have those places that do not have water meters. So that is obviously adding to this distribution losses, I may say that, because we cannot really account for the water that has been pumped into those households that do not have water meters. But I think we've wrote business plans where we requested funding for us to ensure that we actually do install zonal meters. We do install meters within the households to ensure that we actually do account correctly for our losses. And then there's also a plea from our side, Honourable Councillors. I think the issue of going concern, Honourable Member, so the issue of going concern has been talked about quite a lot. And I think also provincial government, or national for that matter, they should also come to party. I mean, currently now, as small as we are being owed 10 million. So you can imagine now, if 10 million was to be paid to us, how much can we clear off our current financial issues? So they must also ensure that they pay our accounts as and when we send to them. We are being paid 10 million. So of the 530 million that I spoke about, 10 million of that comes from government. And it's very unfair that government is owing us that much money, whereas we have these big problems on the ground that must be dealt with. So we also plead to the committee members that please enforce legislation that government must also pay us to ensure that we deal with all the issues that we are currently experiencing.
Okay, can I have a look? Do you have your hands this side? 1, 2. All right, we'll take those 2 and that's it. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, my question is one. I just want to check with the Mayor and the team. As far as issues of aging infrastructure and the water leaks, how much of your total budget is budgeted for maintenance?
Thank you, Chair. Madam Mayor, I've got a few questions. The first being, what measures will you put in place to stop the political interference so that the seconded Section 56 managers can do their job effectively? Do you have a functional and operational organogram? And although you've done you're going to do a skills audit in October 2025, and will only end or start it in October and end in February 2026. It's a bit long because this should be done more regularly. And if you did that, you would find that you'd have a more functional municipality with less possible ghost workers, and it'll assist in your financial reporting. I also suggest that you take the DAA agreement with Eskom and remove that debt from your shoulders. And then currently, this is the 15th year, if my knowledge is correct, that Koffiefontein has been shedding water for 12 hours a day. So for 15 years, my daughter, in other words, would not have known water in her taps if she lived in Koffiefontein during the day. Then one last question, I'll leave the rest, is, Madam Mayor, I would like to know, if you're proud of Letsimeng. Are you proud of the fact that I know that you're registered to have an address in Pietersburg, but I want to know if you're proud of Letsimeng as a municipality, because it is rumored that you actually live in Bloemfontein and commute forwards and backwards to Letsimeng on a daily basis with taxpayers' money. Thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Just one more before you can conclude. Kubev.
No, thanks, Chair. I see that you nearly jumped me.
You were very shy. You didn't raise your hand.
No, Chair. I was still amazed. You know, when you are seeing young faces running a municipality like this.
Don't get lost. Please focus on the question.
It's an excellent. No. Thanks, Chair. Chair, I must first just comment that I think CFO, me and you would agree that the situation is dire. I see that you've been having a going concern issues for more than 5 years. Your current liabilities are nearly 3 times your current assets, and that's a problem. So I think we have an issue. And the deficit, as much as I agree with you on the issue that you are raising, that the 96.3 million, obviously there are non-cash items that would also contribute in that. But the picture overall, it's not looking good. And I'm worried as well around the issue of the pension fund. Particularly because the reason why we contribute and the municipality pay to a particular pension fund in time, it's so that they can take that money, invest it, to grow it for us so that it does not lose value.
Come to the question.
Now, in the arrangement, just one, Chair. Now, in the arrangement that you are having, I want to check, do you take into account such factors such as interest that those employees would have gained if they invested their money, including the time value of money? But please, man, improve.
Let's round up.
Thanks.
All right. Those are the questions. Please try and deal with those.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, for 2025-2026 financial year, for maintenance, we have budgeted 8 million. On the issue of the organogram, it's true, Chair. Our organogram for Letsimeng is outdated, but we have begun a process on relooking into our organogram. I think the only thing that is left is that the union must be appraised on the inputs that have been made by management, and then we'll get to conclude on the issue of the organogram. Indeed, skills audit, we need to do it more regularly. But I can confirm to you that as small as we are, as small as the financial distress that we find ourselves in, with the team that we have in Letsimeng, particularly I will deal with the team that is in technical, we have been able to respond to issues of service delivery by the team, and we have not outsourced that. When I talk to the skills that we have in technical, the work that is being done on communal taps that we currently have in Rimfasmark, it was done by the internal team. In Kofifontein, for example, Honorable Member made mention of Kofifontein. I can confirm to you, Chair, that since 2018, the entire section of Mandela Square did not have running water, which was approximately about 390 households, and Donkerhoek 257. And part of Gebit, about 308 households had water problem. That was done internally by the team here, technical, that is responsible for infrastructure. And in stock and stocks, thank you very much, Speaker. And in Kofifontein still, there is an area called Kudishenting. 70 households did not have water due to old galvanized pipes since 2019. And I can confirm to you that today they do have running water. Yes, indeed, you are quite 100% correct, even though not entirely. I'll give honorable members here our water resource availability in Letsimeng. Petersburg is currently, their available supplies on boreholes. And our current supply is 1.1 milliliter per day. And our required supply is 2.44 milliliters. That is not enough for Petersburg. With the Department of Water Affairs have done a feasibility study on it. They are still to conclude between ourselves and Department of Water Affairs and Mangaung Metro, because one of the options was to get water from the Breg. And Mangaung Metro had indicated that we would have difficulties on it. There was a second option of Krugersdrift Dam. The honorable member, when he speaks of the regime, is that commercial farmers at Krugersdrift also have indicated that they've got water license and we cannot tap into their water resource. We are only left with one, which is the Kalkfontein one. Kalkfontein from Petersburg, it's about 120 if I'm not mistaken. On Koffiefontein water treatment availability, our current supply is 4.5 milliliter. Our required supply is 8 milliliter per day. Yes, honorable member, there is a project that has been stalled. That project is with the Hawks. It's been investigated by the Hawks. But that project of the 4.5 milliliter water reservoir was going to address the shortage of about 3.5 milliliter to Koffiefontein residents. On Jacobsdal, current supply is 4.2 and the required supply is 3.1 milliliter per day. In Jacobsdal, what we have investigated is that in town alone, there is water running there 24/7 because from the treatment plant to household, there is pipes that are connected directly from the water treatment plant to different households in town. Now, then we have the old Ratanang location in Jacobsdal where there are water restrictions. In Donkerhoek, there was an issue of water, but they have water. In Rimfasmark, we have tapped into the water reticulation that was done by Department of Human Settlements, and we've installed water communal taps there to ensure that they've got water while Department of Human Settlement conclude and conclude their project on water and sewer reticulation. In Opermansgronde, the supply there is 0.3 milliliters per day, and the current supply is 0.3 milliliter per day. In Lukov, the 0.9 milliliter supply required. The required supply is 2.4, and the supply currently is 0.9 milliliter. We have done a technical report on it and submitted it to Department of Water Affairs. Must confirm to you sitting here that the waste treatment plant in Koffiefontein also, we are currently at what percentage? 29% with the waste treatment plant in Koffiefontein. And Department of Water Affairs have confirmed that they've approved our business plans for the waste treatment plant in Jacobsdal and Opermansgrond. And indeed, I'm born and bred in Petersburg. I've lived there my entire life, and I do get to stay in Petersburg. When I've got meetings in Bloemfontein, I'm confirming here that I will get to travel to Bloemfontein. My kids, both of my kids, are staying in Bloemfontein. Thank you very much. The issue of the ESCOM DAA, we have been presented with that as council. We are still to conclude it formally as council of Letsimeng. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we should leave it at that point. Thank you very much. Honorable members, thanks to the mayor and your team. I think our major issues here relate to the fact that the municipality does have serious constraints in terms of its revenue, its structure, and its operations. The AG has raised the issue of going concern uncertainty, and the question they've raised is why this matter seems not to have been given attention to in previous years. I'll highlight a few issues which I think we need to deal with, and I'm highlighting them because I would like the MEC to be able to pick them up and report on them. Amongst them would be the issues that the management does not budget correctly, accurately, or realistically. So the issue of budgeting needs to be given assistance. The issues of conditional grants that get used for operational purposes, impacting negatively on service delivery is an issue that needs to be dealt with. And the attention that needs to be given to the infrastructure projects that have got capacity to improve the lives, and also just give you some of the infrastructure for local economic development, water, electricity. According to AG, these are stopped because of financial mismanagement. Then the issue of the diversion of the employees' pension funds, and also the acting CFO that have been vacant for a long time. And those are the issues that we're concerned with, why the action is not being taken. I still don't quite understand the story of Coffee Fontaine, but Coffee Fontaine has really been the buzzword here. So obviously the water challenge there requires attention, and I want to suggest that from the sound of it, you need to also get a provincial government to work with you on dealing with that issue. It's been dramatized quite a bit. Then the other issue is the challenge of water in areas where the farmers have got the water rights. I think get the provincial department, government to get involved, and of course the national departments have to get involved. You don't have a situation where, because the water rights are with the farmers, that people then can starve. So it's got to be attended to. So it's a serious issue that you will need, obviously, the provincial and national government to deal with those issues. Then the issues of the material irregularities, these again need to be given attention. In particular, the issue has been raised about ESCOM, which we think that you need to have a kind of definite way of dealing with ESCOM issues. That it cannot be an uncertain situation. And that, again, on this issue, your MPEC and all the structures need to be activated so that they can deal with them. We are interested in consequence management, and all of these issues will now not be asking you, we'll actually be asking the province what they've done when you have not acted on these issues, because then the focus has to be on these issues. So that when they come knocking at your door, you must know is because in 3 months' time, they need to be able to give us a report. With that, I want to say thank you very much. We will ask you to be excused, but I do want to convey condolences. We have received news that you have lost your aunt just now. We want to convey our deepest sympathies to you, and thank you for handling the situation despite that mishap. And your team, please, we release you at this point, but focus on these issues, and thank you very much. You are excused at this point. Now, and of course you go, you don't need to stay on, you can leave the premises as well. We focus on the next municipality at this point. Sorry? We have Copanong, We'll ask the team from Copanong to come through and do the presentation. You have the list, so let's try and move as much as quickly as we can. We have tea outside, I believe, and water, and you can go out and stretch on your own time. We will not take a break because we're trying to see how much we can cover before we get to 10 o'clock tonight. Welcome. May we have the team introduce yourselves and start the process. Never mind the movement. You are on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Let's just ask the members to converse a bit more softly. Otherwise, we might need to do the rotation. Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good afternoon to yourself and members of Parliament. Let me also greet the members of the legislature, the Speaker of the legislature next to you, the Premier of the Free State. Next to me, on my right side, I have the Speaker of Copanong Local Municipality. His name is Mr. Jerry Moiti. Then on that,
let's show the hand up so we can see. From here, you look quite similar from us. So we want to know who's who. So thank you.
Then on my left side, Chair, I have the far left side, I have the Technical Director, Mr. Madolo. And the lady next to me, Chair, is the Chief Financial Officer of Copanong Local Municipality. The acting municipal manager was with us, Chair, just before we came, but he also received news that he has lost his brother at Bilinomi Hospital. But then we did indicate to the MEC and we then agreed that we will continue in our absence since that we are adverse with the issues that are facing the municipality. Then
thank you very much. He actually came and reported to me before he left, and we also want to convey our condolences to him. Just unfortunate he was with his brother yesterday, and then he got this news now, so he wouldn't have been in a position to stay on. So we do understand. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. Then the last one I'm introducing, Chair, it's me. My name is Kolani Tsele, who is the Mayor of Copanong Local Municipality. Chair, I am given the responsibility to be the one that leads the presentation that we are about to register in this platform. And then the CFO will then deal with the other technical issues if they arise out of questions. Chairperson, Copanong Local Municipality is a municipality that is under Section 139, read with the Water Services Act, Section 63. Now, the reason why, Chairperson, were placed under those sections is because for a period of full 10 years, we've been a municipality that has been struggling to arrive at a position that must be able to give services to communities. But also, Chair, not only limited to that, we are also a current leadership that had the capability of taking the municipality out of a disclaimer for the financial year 2020-2021. Now, ever since we are in charge of the municipality, Chair, the Auditor General is indicating that we are getting qualified audit opinions with certain improvements. But this municipality, Chairperson, it is a municipality that has entirely collapsed. It is a municipality that has got serious problems. Now, the serious problems that are in the municipality, Chair, are related to issues that are in the financial discipline of a municipality. Now, ever since we've been under this section, which is Section 139, Chairperson, I must indicate that even though there is slow improvement, but there is at least improvement towards the right direction. And Section 139, Chair, has assisted us as the municipality that we need to invoke certain legislative matters that are within the governance system of the municipality. One of them, Chairperson, is that as a superstructure to give to the base of the problems that we have, was that Chapter 5 of the MFMA, which speaks about cooperative government, the Section 34 of it also deals with the capacity building. Now, the support that we receive from the provincial government is not only limited on the administration, on the issues that relates to appointments, but it also relates to the fact that provincial treasury is able to assist the municipality in the capacity building of our financial department. Because, Chair, when you read the Auditor General report, in most cases the Auditor General report raises the issue of UIFW. In a nutshell, Chair, that means that the financial discipline in the municipality has entirely collapsed, and as a result of that, you would need to get support, and the support that we receive are in relation to capacity building. But also, Chair, what we have done also through this Section 139 was to also speak to communities, your farmer communities, your business community, and our own communities that are living in our wards. One of it, Chair, is that the problems that we had was the fact that when we came into the municipality in 2021, the leadership or the administrative that was then collapsed the entire system. That relates to your billing system, and we had to start afresh. And the collapse thereon, Chairperson, as we speak, it is under investigation. And we also indicated in our report that we have got those particular cases that are investigated by SIU, as well as the Hawks, including ourselves with our own internal capacity through the MPEC. The municipality has got a functioning MPEC. It also has got a functioning disciplinary board. It also has a functioning audit action plan team, which is there, and we are working very close with the provincial government in relation to that particular aspect. Now, coming to the issues that led to us to be under Section 139. One of it was that the municipality had the previous administration led this municipality to be where it is today. And we are trying hard to get it out of where it is. One of it, Chair, is that when provincial government intervened with Section 154, there was an agreement that they would try to assist us with the reversal of promotions. Now, the promotions that were made in the municipality have increased the salary bill to an extent that the municipality is unable to sustain its salaries each and every month. But what we can also confirm, Chair, is that the matter is receiving attention, whereby provincial government is assisting with a state attorney that we should at least put what we call in the court a court order against the promotion of those particular workers, so that it gets reversed, and then we are able to sustain our salary issues. But also, Chair, is that in the past 10 years, or let me say the 5 years before we came into council, the municipality had problems in terms of paying its salaries. What provincial government then did, it treated the municipality as one of their departments, where they were able to give the municipality money to pay salaries, of which, Chair, proves that it was not sustainable. Now, what we also want to confirm, Chair, through our report is that the Auditor General is saying that there is one material irregularity that we are facing as a municipality, which is the Karib Dam, where you get your wastewater treatment plant wasting sewage into the Karib Dam. That matter, Chair, has been addressed, and the project, as we speak, Chair, it's at 95%. The 5% thereon is that the municipality is in the process of appointing permanent process controllers that would be able to ensure that we service the wastewater treatment plant. But there are also other wastewater treatment plants around Copanong local municipality which continue to give us problems. What we have done is to utilize Section 63 of the Water Services Act and speak to DWS, including the Val Central Water Board, to intervene in assisting that particular municipality in relation to those issues. At least there is a positive contribution to it. The Philippolis wastewater treatment plant, as we speak, is under the duress and control of DWS and the Val Central Water Board to receive those particular, to address those particular issues. Now, the biggest challenge, Chair, which does not make us a very proud municipality, is that the municipality is just owing everyone. I wouldn't be shocked, Chair, if one of you can say the municipality also owe you. Now, Chairperson, it is that what we did was to enter into agreements with these creditors. And one of the creditors which gives us problems, it is the Municipal Workers' Retirement Fund. The Municipal Workers' Retirement Fund is giving us problems to such an extent that they go to court and they litigate the municipality. In other instances, they can keep the municipality's bank account at ransom for more than 3 months, to an extent that you are unable to move and so on. Now, what the National Treasury did in trying to resolve our matters is that we agreed with the Val Central Water Board that we'll stick to the payment plan that we agreed on, to an extent that Val Central Water Board requests in order for us to do so. Thank you very much. In order for us to do so. Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay, we're gonna ask you to take questions, but you're saying that your predecessors are the ones who took the municipality down the drain. That obviously means your management and your political leadership. Have you done anything about that? What have been the consequences of that now that you are in charge?
Chairperson, the first one that we dealt with was the municipal manager that we got there. 2 weeks when we came in, we got rid of him. Then the second one issue was that the previous CFO that we found there, we picked up through Treasury that the CFO is paying ghost companies in that municipality. We personally went to a police station, we opened a case. As we speak, Chairperson, the case is also there in the report that we have submitted to yourself, that it is investigated by the Hawks. Thank you very much. Ever since they left, we are not a municipality that attracts applicants to apply to the municipality.
Why?
I think, Chairperson, one of them would be that the municipality is unable to pay salaries per month. That would be number one. Number two, Chair, is that in the area where we come from, it is difficult for you to attract a municipal manager who comes from there. Then number three, Chairperson, is that the MEC has promised us that he will, in his leadership, create a new layer of MMs, because in the Free State, we've got municipal managers who are rotating too much. Thank you very much, Chair.
Questions? Mtolo, Mtetwa, Damase, Van Sail, Upega, Kalipi, Shenge, Matiwan, the whole row, so it's Ukbali after your neighbor. Please proceed.
No, thanks, Chairperson. Chairperson, with regard to the issue of the pension fund that is owed, are the workers actually aware about that pension fund? What steps has the accounting officer taken to ensure that? And the last one, why is the municipality not honoring the arrangements made with their creditors? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mteto.
Thanks, Chair. Please give me the behavioral pattern of race relations in your municipal space what is the presence of whites. Why I've picked up something, there is a tendency which is happening within the white community. They are colluding against municipalities where commercial farmers, they no longer pay services to municipality. They are all migrating from the grid system, which you inherited these systems from them. Now that blacks are responsible for municipalities, there's a change of practice where they now have their own boreholes, water, electricity grid, they have their roads leading to their farms. So all that was a revenue base for those municipalities has been eroded, but it is funny that it's eroded with these whites. And then you blacks are left in a ledge where there's no source. And two, this province is rich with minerals. And I wonder who is enjoying the minerals of this province, because I don't think the blacks are enjoying it. So it clearly is whites. And that's my problem, because then it creates unequal ownership patterns of the economy, where deliberately blacks...
Let's focus on the municipality, Copanong.
It is this municipality. This question of minerals relates to this municipality. Issues of land relates to this municipality. Issues of farm relate. That's why I asked behavioral patterns of race relations to this municipality, because it looks like the picture that we are getting is that these municipalities are only blacks are residing there, and there's silence on the behavior of whites. And I want that mix, because then we will understand that we are divided. There is prejudice, there is racism in the economic structure, and blacks are being marginalized systematically and structurally. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Fagu.
Thank you very much, Chair. In the presentation that we were given, it is alluded that the municipality is on the verge of being separated into two entities, while at the same time you are reflecting that you are on a recruitment spree. Then the question is, what is the wisdom of that? While you know that you are on the verge of separating it into two entities while you continue recruiting. On the issue of late submission of the annual financial statements, you are somewhere saying that the challenge is the lack of internal capacity, while at the same time it is the late appointment of consultants. Where is the late appointment of, where is the challenge between the administrative leader in terms of balancing what you are articulating there as some kind of an excuse? Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. So I don't know, Mayor, if your team was here when Karib District was here. They were, I don't know if you were here, but I asked them about the sewage spillages in Batuli specifically. And I asked them if the EHPs have issued you with compliance notices. And they said they have, and that they've issued you. I wanted to find out from you if they actually did issue you with those compliance notices, and if that anything has been resolved. I also noticed that your collection rate is at 20%. What is your administration doing all day? If your collection rate is at 20%, no wonder you owe everyone. Again, the equitable share withholding letter from the minister, where it stated that your latest amount to pension funds is 330 million rand outstanding. This means that those employees that want to retire will not be able to retire. That's on your heads. Old people that's given their lives in service of other people, of residents, will not be able to retire because you are not paying over the pension funds. These are people's livelihoods, you know, and there's financial definite maladministration. So I'd like you to comment on specifically that. I know that the bank account was also attached a couple of years back. You can't pay salaries. I'm tempted to ask the same question that was asked earlier. Should this municipality still continue? Can it still continue? Thank you.
Kupega, then we'll get responses.
Chair, I think as a comment, I sit in Scopa along with Honorable Maduna, and we see a lot of disasters there that happen in many departments all over the country. But Maduna, I think these municipalities must be amongst some of the biggest disasters in the country. Now, with that being said, I'll ask the same question I asked to the previous municipality. Should this municipality not be dissolved? Do you as a team from Copanong believe that this municipality needs to be sustained as a municipality? And if so, why? Because if the mayor himself is saying, listen, people, this municipality owes everyone, you can't afford to pay salaries, the people can't retire, what's the point of having this entity as a municipality? And I would like you to give us homework as a team from Parliament to take back to Parliament to have Parliament discuss this issue of such municipalities. And we would beg your indulgence in that you give us an honest opinion. Because as much as we understand that bulk of what is happening there may not necessarily be because of your doing, it may have been your predecessors, but given the state of the municipality as it is the municipality in a state to do justice to the people of this municipality in terms of delivering basic human rights, water, sanitation? Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, I'll let them to comment on the question, but they are not obliged. It's a Russian roulette, that question. You are entitled to that question, to responding. But I wouldn't pressurize them if they don't. I think the issue is canvassed well enough without that question being answered. Yeah. Honorable Karib, you are the last one, then we take the questions, the answers.
Okay. No, Mayor and the team, it's difficult there. I just want to understand, how do you sleep at night? Because I'm already traumatized as listening to you with the status of the municipality. Now I'm imagining you on a daily basis. You are very brave, guys. How many employees do you have in the municipality? Because I want to take it up from the other colleagues about the concern on municipal pension fund and workers' medical aid. And then how did you arrive in this situation, politically and administratively? And what is the plan? Because the plan that is here in front of us is from the department. So what is your own plan? Because the department can come with the plans, but you need to have your own plans that can also work together with the department. So do you see yourself out of this situation? When and how? Thank you, Chair.
Let's get the responses, please.
No, thank you very much, Chair. I think I will try to respond to a few questions. Then I will also, through you, Chair, ask that the Speaker also intervenes as well as the officials. The first question that to respond to, Chair, is that the collection rate of Copanong, it was actually 9%. And ever since we tried to change the strategy, we raised it to 36%. So it's not actually 20%. And then on the equitable share issue, Chair, is that yes, I am part of the municipalities that the equitable share will be withheld according to Section 217 of the Constitution. And in the withholding of such, Chairperson, is that in the last two equitable shares that we received, it was the same issue, but then the agreement was that the minister will release only a tranche that pays the creditors that you owe. For an example, if the agreement to pay Val Water is 2 million, I get the 2 million from National Treasury, I pay Val Central Board, and then the other tranche get released to the municipality. And then on the issue of EHPs and the Betuli issue, I must indicate, Chair, is that even on the Betuli issue, through the council resolution and our internal officials, is that we have taken a decision that the PMU department must go and investigate the infrastructure development of Betuli as a whole town. The crisis of sewage spillages in Betuli, according to our own analysis, it is a crisis which is human-made on the basis that the underground infrastructure development for many years was not done via the specifications that a contractor needs to comply with. For an example, if a pipe is 500 millimeters, the contractor will put in 200 millimeters. Now, with the growth of the community, it creates a backlog and spillages and so on. Now, we said that our PMU should go and investigate it and also try to relate the matter to our departments that are assisting us. Now, on the question that the EHP gave us certificates, I don't think, where I'm seated, I do not have the information that they've given us, but I can guarantee you, Chair, that we did not receive any of those certificates. So what we know, the EHP focus from the Karib District municipality, it's strictly on our local shops. They don't enter into that space as required. And then on the issue of how many employees do we have, Chair, is that we have 450 employees, which is way too much. And that is why the bill is so high. The employees are so much, Chairperson, that even the person who's driving from me, I took from them. Even the person who's my security, I took from them because you can't hire anymore. It is just too high. And then on the issue of the sustainability of the municipality, as well as the behavioral patterns, I think those are invitation for political debates because they are much more intent with the colonial history of our country. But we must indicate, Chair, that through the Municipal Systems Act, Chapter 4 of it, around community participation, is that we are trying to draw on different races, different classes into the discussion on how we can deal with the issues of the municipality. We have what you call your rate payers association, which collects rates amongst the white communities, and they keep the amount to them. But in the discussions, in the discussions with them, but in the discussion also under oath, Chair, committing to this collective that by the 15th of August this year, we will be the causes of last year have been resolved by the fact that we now have officials that deals with the internal matters or internal affairs of the municipality. I think I have tried to answer as much as I can, and there is a question around pensions. I think the question around pensions is that what do we do when there is a situation where workers need to go on pension? We are through engagements with them. If, for an example, 10 of them needs to go on pension December, we are engaging with them that you can't go all 10 of you. We can only afford 5 of you. Then the 5 of you will afford them perhaps maybe next year, because the danger is that once they go to pension, their salary is going to stop, and their household or the livelihood where they stay, it is also going to be a problem for them. And then there is a question of demarcation. It is indeed true, Chair, that the municipality is under a process of demarcation. Currently, the municipality has got 9 towns. The demarcation is going to share the municipality into 2 municipalities with the separation of the 9 towns. You have 5 this side and 4 this side. And the question of the sustainability of the municipality in attraction to invest in the rural area, the sustainability of the municipality can then become a question of reality. Now, what we also have done as a municipality was that you need to look outside what government gives you for the sustainability of the municipality. One of it is that the exploration of the rich land that we do have, and some of this land is owned by us as a municipality. 2 is that the possibilities of an industrial area in the municipality through mining, which is not yet explored. Perhaps maybe if Parliament were to intervene in the municipality, would be to send research capacity and do the correct analysis of the municipality. Lastly, it is that the municipality, in terms of its sun radiation, is the fact that it is number 2 in the country after Northern Cape, where you can be able to invest in your solar farm and be able to explore that particular economy and create employment or your human capital to be employed so that they must be able to work and be able to pay for services. But these are long-term solutions, but in the immediate, the solutions are on our basic services that we need to give our communities. And as things are, Chair, I think I have tried to elaborate as much as I can on those particular questions that were asked. If there is anything left out, Chairperson, like I indicated to you, I am with a collective. They might want to have a bite. Thank you, Chair.
Now, just talk a little bit about the rates that are being withheld. How much money is involved, and is there a court case that has ruled that such ratepayers can hold the money, and what is your relationship, and where does the money ultimately go?
No, thank you very much, Chair. No, Chair, in this regard, there is no court case. But what the legislation also does not allow, Chair, is that the ratepayers association themselves cannot take that responsibility. But what is happening currently, Chair, is that there are engagements between ourselves as well as the ratepayers association. There is a ratepayers association in an area known as Karib Dam. That ratepayers association, as we speak, Chair, has got over 3 million in its coffers. And what they've done is to take the money and put it into a registered trust. But they can't utilize it. And in the engagements, it is that we need to find common ground as to if we utilize it, for what purpose would it be. Now the suggestion, Chair, is that you take the ratepayers association money, vis-a-vis engagement with Treasury, and yourself, you reinvest it back into what we call your smart prepaid meters, so that particular meters in themselves can allow the communities to buy water, to have access to water 100%. Now, as we speak, the very same community, it is struggling to get water, and they claim that they are paying the municipality, which in turn the money is not reinvested back to those basic services. So those are the engagements that are there. For now, Chair, what I can confirm is that the engagement are positive. And once they are positive, we believe as a leadership that ultimately will yield positive results. But I must also say, Chair, the matter is not in court or in any sub judice, but the matter is still in the bilaterals that we are having. Thank you.
Okay, let's get the next question. Shankar. Wait. Oh, it's all right. We'll come back. Let me just let these members to come through.
Thank you, Chairman. I think it is worth starting with commending the Chairman, the Mayor, really for brutal frankness, which is what we are trying to encourage, which helps us a lot. I just think, Chair, if you look at the municipalities that we have listened to today, and even the reports of the ones who are going to hear, it's like you've had one, you've had them all. And I just think that it makes you ask the question, how does the province sustain? Because the province is formed of, of municipalities. But anyway, I think that the one which was touched on of the pension, which is alluded to, that when they are leaving, then they ask them, they tell them we can't, which means now they dictate to these people that because it suits us, you can't go. But my question before he said that was to ask, do they negotiate on this thing of pensions or they inform? Because this question has been coming up throughout the day. Did the employees know? So in this case, in your case, you can't answer for others. Do you negotiate them precise when they are going away, or you just inform them that, by the way, we are clawing into the pension? Because I think there's a big difference there. Then, Chair, with the time that you've allocated, I just wanted to find out, he has requested that Parliament should please help you. I don't know, I did not detect, let alone detect, any turnaround strategy from your side. Because I think if you ask for something, then you say, this is how far we've tried, please help us reach there. So what are you giving instead? But in particular, with such a situation, there is no turnaround strategy which you tabled here today. It's just a cry in the wilderness. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, next.
Sorry, I wanted to ask also about the mine. Just reminded, sorry, Chair, for that. I think which we touched on, what is it really that being utilized? Because I think it was raised by Honorable Mtetwa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to get an update from maybe the Mayor on the intervention that was triggered by the inability of the municipality as a water services authority to carry out the water services mandate as contemplated in terms of the Water Services Act of 1997. I think it goes back to what Babu Sheng is saying. What is your turnaround strategy in addressing the issues that triggered the intervention to make sure that people are getting their basic right, which is access to water? Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. Mayor, how long have you been the mayor now of the municipality? Okay,
you want to leave that and go to the next question?
No, it's not my question. I just wanted to know that you can answer that. I just want to say, if I think my colleague said it, when we look at one of you, it's like, it's the same problem, it's a common thread. And given your history of financial mismanagement, non-payment of employees, your municipal workers' retirement fund, there's a few questions that one needs to ask, and that you've mentioned the problem, but you haven't actually given us the detail. I want to know what percentage of your budget is your salary bill. That is one of the things I want to ask. Then I want to know, from 2016 to date, can you give us a breakdown of how many court orders the Municipal Workers' Retirement Fund has obtained against you as the municipality for arrear pension contributions? And then also the costs, the legal costs involved for you as the municipality thus far, that you had to cover following all of these cases. What does that cost? And then can you give us a breakdown of your total amount that you owe your debtors up to date? What is that debt for, and for how long has this been due? And then the last one is, Honourable Van Zyl mentioned this, the attachments. Are there currently any judicial attachments on your bank accounts? And if so, can you give us the details of that, and in whose favour the attachment is, and the amounts attached, and the reasons for the attachments to as well, if you possibly the court case numbers. Thank you.
Yes, proceed.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I want to ask a few questions as well. I want to ask Mayor, who prepares your financial statements? I learned that you are committing to the date of the 15th this year. I'm not sure if you have a new consultant that's going to make sure that you have financials at that time. Who has been preparing your financials, because you haven't been sending financials on time? 2, you've been getting disclaimers, and that is not correct. We must say it as it is. You can say you are coming from not disclaimer, qualified opinion. You are coming from a disclaimer to a qualified opinion. Still, that's not acceptable. That is still wrong. I was looking at your slide 8.4, UIFWE. On fruitless and wasteful expenditure, we're looking at about almost 100 million that is going there. That is new fruitless and wasteful expenditure for the current year. And then if you are sitting with so much creditors and you have so much fruitless and wasteful expenditure, then it looks like we are putting money in a black hole and we are really not making any progress. And this is a serious and a huge MR that's going to come with AG. You are not making any progress. As I close, you say you have a functional audit committee, you have a functional MPEG. I want to put to you, Mayor, that those two are not functional with these results on audits. They are not functional. You are not investigating any of these amounts. The irregular expenditure is sitting at 700 million. It has not have been investigated, but you are saying you have a functional impact. That is contrary to what we see here on your financials. So please take us into confidence with that. Thank you so much.
Thanks as well. No, I think as well I'll be very short. One, we must acknowledge that, at least you acknowledge that you have a problem. They say that the first step of fixing a problem is for you to first know that you have a problem. Now, I want, my colleagues would have partially covered me on many of my questions that I wanted to ask. But my first question would be that, do you have a turnaround strategy of how you recover financially in this municipality? If you do, is it documented? Does it have its implementation plan? Together, is it quantified, the costs that are required in order for you to be able to achieve? Secondly, I think Mayor must plea with you. It can't be that the municipality just can't have a website, can't upload Section 75 of the PMFMA after you have approved them. I think such things should not be happening, as well as the issue of performance. Performance information is very simple to prepare. I really don't get it why in 2023 you had problems around that. And the late submission of AFS, we are pleading with you, please can you submit in time? Thank you.
Yes, Director.
Thank you, Chair. I must say that Copanong is one of the few municipalities that can confidently say the intervention is working. In most municipalities where we go to, they will tell you that the intervention is not working. And Chair, looking at the municipality is technically bankrupt with a huge debt, and it seems like there's no scope of recovery. So I want to check with municipalities if they do have financial recovery plan in place, and whether is it that plan working. And secondly, what are the possibilities of alternative revenue generation strategies to enhance their revenue collection? Lastly, Chair, there was a time where there was a disaster, a mining disaster in that particular municipality, and I know that most of the executive did went to that particular municipality. Can they also take us along if there was no intervention plan from the national government with regard to their municipality in terms of the economic development and also other...
Thank you, Chair. I will Thank you, Chair. I will answer one or two of the questions that were posed, in particular the one that deals with our identity, whether is it relevant for us to still exist. Chairperson, in appreciation of the intervention invoked under Section 1391B, as read with Section 63, I have been advocating this matter, I think, for the past two ProPECs that we attended, to say I believe that the intervention seeks to achieve a certain objective, which is to assist the municipality. My problem, Chair, is with Section 63, it's mute because it does not really assist the municipality. In fact, Treasury has now become a debt collector on behalf of third parties by invoking certain provisions which the Constitution allows. But Chair, Section 64 would have been more relevant in this instance. Section 64 would be more relevant if we all listen to the cries of this municipality to say it is technically bankrupt. But then Parliament invokes a section that does not assist the process. If you read 64, it gives the minister the powers to solicit funding from Parliament or NGOs or other companies to come and assist with the water crisis. As we speak, communities still don't have water. And the relevancy of Section 33 would then be why are we here if there is no. And the recourse thereof, Chair, would find that if you read subsection 7, it gives the NCOP the responsibility to review whether this provision of 63 does it assist the process. It doesn't, Chair. And we have requested that there should be a review on the 63 and rather invoke Section 64. And the minister can then therefore further invoke Section 66 to regulate whether the money will be properly spent if there is such financial injection in this municipality. If you check the assets and liability of the municipality, our liabilities exceed our assets by far. I mean, 100%. If this was a private business, it would have been insolvent. Now, Chair, if you ask me that why should we still exist, the answer is yes. If we can reconsider the DORA allocation, I think there is need for that because it does not assist poor municipalities. In fact, based on the demographics, the bigger cities get more of the chunk than the poorer municipalities. And in conclusion, Chair, why we should not be dissolved is that province owes us 36 million rand and national owes us 16 million rand. That's more or less 50 million rand that can cover for 6 months of salaries. And if that would have been assisted, I think the recovery plan that we have will begin to make financial sense, Chair. Thank you.
Proceed.
Thank you very much. I would like to add on what are we doing as a municipality. We started with the data cleansing, and we've been assisted by Cogta as well to cleanse our data. We've done it through our billing. We now from beginning August we'll be sending accounts where everyone gets account. And what we also did now, we also looked at our valuation role in terms of the completeness of the valuation role. And we started doing the reconciliation on a monthly basis, where we see where are the issues. Are we billing our customers correctly, or are we not billing our customers correctly? And then what we then did, because it goes in terms of us getting money as a municipality, people must also be satisfied with the service delivery. We've entered into an agreement with CUT, where they'll be assisting us with part of the service delivery, where they'll be doing the roads of the municipality and other issues regarding the water that they'll be assisting the municipality with. We've also went out on a tender, because also you all know that we don't get grants for everything. It's limited to certain projects. So what we then do as a municipality, certain our strategy, we advertise to say we're looking for investors that can come and firstly maybe source funding on behalf of the municipality on the LED that can come for the economic economic issues at the municipality, because we know that our municipality is actually very rich in terms of the economy. It's just that we need investors to come at the municipality. By doing that, the people will get jobs, the people will be able to pay their debts. So that's what we're doing with the turnaround strategy. So far, we've had different people that are willing to come to the municipality, to assist the municipality, to invest in the municipality. So if we given a chance, then there'll be the municipality will improve. And in another issue, we also want to do the prepaid water meters, because that we feel that when we do the prepaid water meters, first of all, with Val Central, they said if you put in the prepaid water meters, will then increase the water level in your taps. By doing that, people will be satisfied, will come and pay the municipality, because now they'll be satisfied that they're getting basics in your taps by services. So we do have 10-hour strategy in place. Thank you very much.
Okay. Chair, just want to confirm the issue of the EHP at Karib District. The last time we got a correspondence or a directive, it was sometime in March, but it was not in Betuli, it was in Ehrenberg, around the issue of E. coli, not the sewer, E. coli in drinking water, not the sewer challenges. And maybe just to mention the issue of spillages in Betuli, we were quite aware of. I know that there's in Kruger and Hospital Street where there are challenges, as well as the bulk line that goes to the wastewater treatment plant. But just want to mention that that kind of infrastructure, as Mayor has indicated, we have done an assessment, and just for reticulation as well as upgrading of those wastewater treatment, the pump station, we are anticipating that the business plan that we have costed is around 30 million that we need just to look at those issues. And they will be continuing, because when you look at the infrastructure there, usually say we adopted this infrastructure from the prior government, and now the population is increasing, meaning that we're putting more pressure into the current infrastructure that is already fragile. We're talking of asbestos. And when we talk about asbestos and clay pipes, we mean that there's no more material in the market, meaning that if asbestos bursts today, it means that our process controllers or our plumbers, they have to use even the rubbers just to make something, that particular thing to work for that particular time. But it is not guaranteed, because it's not something that we can say. I know that last financial year, Cogta assisted us with about 4.7, and the prior year we spent about 9 million on the particular infrastructure, but really it doesn't help us up until we do the holistic planning. And the challenge is, it is funding. If you look at Lipoi Primary, just next to the primary school, there is a pump station adjacent, just here. And now you understand when there's a spillage, what is really happening with the livelihood. We're planning of removing that particular pump station and put it right lower at the lower side. And when you put it at the lower side, another challenge again is the issue of Orange River is right next to the particular thing. Now we have to come with more engineering planning and see how can we really put that into rest. But yeah, there are challenges. In Betula must say we're looking. We actually need support in order for us to.
What could be the institutional weaknesses that exist in your revenue department? Is it an issue of capacity, or is it an issue of skills gap? Weaknesses that exist in your revenue department. Is it an issue of capacity? Or is it an issue of skills gap? Is it an issue of poor leadership? Or is it an issue of a systems challenge? 2, has the CFO conducted any recent internal audit reviews? And the last one has already been covered in terms of measurable interventions that are in place to increase your revenue collection from 20%. Those are my 3 questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to understand, Chair, was it part of the plan for a recovery plan when the municipality took a decision to move from Centlec as the electricity distributor to a company, I think it's listed what Africa, Yes, is that company accredited? Does it has accreditation to distribute electricity, and which infrastructure is it using? Is it using Centlec infrastructure, and how much is it paying to use that particular infrastructure? And if you do the comparison between the Centlec cost of the electricity per unit and what that company is offering, what is the difference? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I think it has been asked, but it hasn't been properly answered. Is there a financial recovery plan in place for Copanong? Who drafted it? What is the deliverables? When was it drafted? By whom was it drafted? And then I note that the Vaal Central water has been or the Vaal Central debt has been cut by 700 million, which is then, well, it's a large amount. What is the current creditors now? Because with the Vaal Central water, it was at some stage about 900 million, plus the other creditors, it was over $1 billion. Noting that Vaal Central has now cut that 700 million, will the water articulation be increased in Copanong to the various towns? And what is also the current account? Because I note you say your payment arrangement says you must pay your current account. And then I'm concerned a bit in terms of Copanong splitting into two, FS 162 and FS 164. What will transpire to that? Well, it's no longer 1 billion, it's now much less. So let's say it's 500 million debt. Will it be split between the two municipalities? Perhaps Cogta can come in here. What will transpire? Will the old Copanong keep the 500 million debt and the new one have a clean slate? That's perhaps a question for, yes. But then I think most importantly is the FRP. Who drafted that? Where is it?
Last question.
Thank you, Chair. I'm not sure who's going to answer this. Have the senior managerial posts, could you provide the credentials of the newly appointed staff? Then, does your municipality have a bulk ESCOM and water board meters to measure the actual supply given to the municipality so that you can actually see how much you're buying compared to what you're actually giving out? And then what progress has been done on the serious sewage leakages in Tromsburg? To my knowledge, this was funded by the MIG. So is the and currently under intervention?
Good you asked who must answer that, because it doesn't look like any of us can. We just, I think, have the common sentiment about it. So let's get your comments, responses.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to answer the one with regard to billing. The municipality has a history with the system, the audit part. As you all know, that the municipality managed to submit financial statements only in November, of which the AG completed their audit in the 24th of April. In June 2025, the municipality managed to submit financial statement of, yes, we are doing the audit, because it's important that when AG comes, we have files already that are there with supporting evidence. In that will also cut cost. For when AG comes, we have files already that are there with. In that will also cut cost from the AG side, because it will save time when they request information within 3 days. Will be able to submit. I'm not sure. In terms of our creditors, we are currently sitting at 541 million after the cut from Vaal Central, and the monthly debt is 5.8. And what we've noticed after the cut, they've actually given us a detailed statement. We noticed that our major part of, we have water losses, especially in Edinburgh and Bethule. So as a municipality, that where we will be doing, seeing how do we cap that water loss, because it will actually reduce our monthly account. Thank you.
Chair, on the question that was raised about the split of the municipality, yes, if you would look at how local government, too many small former town councils have been clouded into one municipality, and for operational reasons, it is too vast, and therefore you cannot really reach out to each and every resident. So the view with the split, which is actually not a split, and that's I think where people miss it, it's an exclusion. If you read the proclamation, it's an exclusion of 4 towns from an existing municipality. So there is no municipality that's being dissolved to create another one. Copanong remains Copanong. 4 towns have been excluded to form a new municipality. The smaller the municipality, the better.
That's a split.
It's a split.
Leave that issue. Just go to the principle. You won't get anybody to support you on that. It's a split. You could put it in Afrikaans or in Sesotho. It will come to the same thing.
So there are bilaterals that were supposed to have taken place between the municipality and Cogta in the province. I think it was just the MEC is here, he can then respond. But there are bilaterals that are going to discuss what happens then to the assets and the liabilities, whether in the province, whether the municipality, if it's a new municipality, does it then go together with the debt? Do you split the debt now that I'm told that it's a split? But nonetheless, the fact remains that there are going to be bilaterals between us and the province to discuss the assets and liabilities.
Okay, Mayor, you have a bit of an explanation to give. The mayor of Karib was asked a question by the Honorable Fansel, who must try and listen to me just now. You will have to listen to me. You were asked the question by the Honorable Fansel about the EHP notices in Betuli, and you said no, you haven't had such a notice. And now I'm just trying to understand this. I have a notice here that comes from District Municipality, Tromsburg, and it's a notice that says drinking water boil alert for Edinburgh and Harry CB residents. Harasby resident. Harasby. You confusing. This communication serves to alert the residents of Edinburgh and Harasby on the recent contamination of drinking water supplied by the municipality. Contaminated water can result in illnesses such as diarrhea, cholera, and others. Following techniques can be used to treat water at home. Boil tap water, use 1 teaspoonful of bleach. Please note dehydration from excess loss of body fluids from diarrhea can cause deaths. If you experience the following symptoms, urgently report to the nearby clinic: diarrhea, stomach cramps, etc. The municipality is working tirelessly to put in measures to ensure the quality of water is improved, and will keep. We would like to apologize for the community for the inconvenience. Yours in development, Ms. L.Y. Muletsane, Municipal Manager. All right. Now this one is coming from Planning and Social Development Department, as well as the Constitution of South Africa, etc., etc. Discussion on June 6. Environmental Health Office received a complaint with regards to the sewage spillage in Tromsburg. One complaint was received from the Betuli. The HPs attended to the complaint. Result of the investigation: Copanong local municipality. The spillage were due to its act, etc., etc. Recommendation, the management takes note that Copanong local municipality reported that there will be a new project in Betul and Tromsburg to upgrade water wastewater infrastructure to accommodate Act, etc., etc. Recommendation, the management takes note that Copanong local municipality reported that there will be a new project in Betul and Tromsburg to upgrade water wastewater infrastructure to accommodate the growing population. 2, that the management takes note that the compliance notices were issued to Copanong local municipality. 3, that the management takes note that the EHP will conduct awareness on proper waste disposal and segregation to prevent the blockages of sewage pipes. Approve Mr. O.A. Kale, Director Planning and Social Development. From where we sit, we have the notices which we have just denied. I don't necessarily need a response just now. I just thought we need to be aware. I wanted us to try and round up because I have a problem with the time. Now, I have a problem if you want to start the matter. Precisely for that reason, I didn't want to extend it. Now, okay, the closure for this discussion is going to come at 10:30. We can continue.
Thank you, Chair. Perhaps I missed it. I just wanted to get a clear answer. The FRP, the Financial Recovery Plan, who drafted that? Is there one in place in Copanong? Who drafted it? If there's not one, why not? Because I understand one of the deliverables should be that there's the FRP earlier. Via Cogta, Cogta said the FRP must be created. National Treasury will assist. Later we asked a question to National Treasury. Treasury said they had never received a request from province to assist with a FRP. So
okay.
I just want to know, is there a FRP? Because we have to turn around the ship, but there must be a plan, an approved financial recovery plan. It's fine doing things, but there must be a plan.
Okay, that's now a debate. You are just supposed to ask the question. All right.
Thank you, Chair. I'm not sure if the team has forgotten to answer the question that I posed, or did they capture or not.
What's the question?
The question was that, Chair, was the decision to take out Sentlek as the electricity distributor and appoint Lesedi to Africa as part of the financial performance or improvement plan? And if so, what then becomes then, which infrastructure is Lesedi to Africa is it using?
Okay. Yes. All right. Let's get the responses to these two questions. These two questions.
Okay. Maybe if I should start with the issue of Sentlek. The contract between Lesedi, between Copanong and Sentlek was actually terminated in September 2023, where we got a notice of termination by the entity. And in our contract, it is mentioned that whosoever between Copanong and Sentlek who wishes to end the relationship, he has a period of 6 months that he has to give to one party. So that's where it started. Then the council sat and tried to have the municipality was facing the election, because it was around March when the 6 months was ended. Then the municipal council said that let us rather extend this contract up until the end of another 12 months. Then at that particular time, we had Sentlek for some time, and then the council then appointed Lesedi to Africa. Then the plan to this, it was to have a smooth transition between the two.